to ensure the lead, reserve Marshall Edwards made the big play. Peter Ladd got the big save, and the Brewers won their first pennant ever the hard way. Now they'll play the National League champion Cardinals, who won theirs the easy way. Two red-hot teams set to meet head-on for baseball's biggest prize, a whirl through the World Series. Welcome to Busch Stadium, a park not designed for the power-packed Milwaukee Brewers, but ideal for the St. Louis Cardinals, who run to get their runs and flash quickness on defense to prevent them. This marks the Cardinals' 13th World Series, in contrast to the Brewers, who in their 13-year history are here for the first time. Pre-game speculation also centers around the fact that a half-dozen players were involved in key deals between these two clubs. But no matter how they got here, all are looking loose and ready for the challenge and celebration that only a World Series can provide.
Sylvia crying and cheering towels!
Very possibly could be a triple in that play. Would you follow what I'm saying?
No, I just didn't understand.
I'm saying it's tough for an umpire.
That's the bullpen.
Watch out, Ozzy.
I got it! What?
Look like a waterfall.
Voice came on the radio and said, well, it's be the 79th World Series starting Tuesday night in St. Louis between the Milwaukee Brewers and the St. Louis Cardinals. And I must tell you, I started to cry. I couldn't believe it. The Brewers were in the World Series.
Nobody expected the Cardinals to win the World Series in 1982.
Well, it's David and Goliath.
The fact that they had hit 220 home runs and we had only hit 67, people didn't give us much of a chance.
Watch out, Ozzy.
Rarely in the history of baseball have you had such a contrast. You had the big sluggers from Milwaukee, and you had the speed guys for St. Louis.
Leading off, number 4, third baseman Paul Molitor. Batting second, number 19, shortstop Robin Yount. Hitting third, number 15, first baseman Cecil Cooper. Batting cleanup, number 23, catcher Ted Simmons. Hitting fifth, number 24, left fielder Ben Ogilvie. Batting sixth, number 20, center fielder Gorman Thomas. Hitting seventh, number 13, designated hitter Roy Howell. Batting eighth, number 22, right fielder Charlie Moore. And hitting ninth, number 17, second baseman Jim Gantner. And in the bullpen, the starting pitcher, number 48, Mike Caldwell. And the manager of the American League champions, Harvey Keene. Introducing the National League champions, the St. Louis Cardinals. First, the coaching staff: Red Shanedeans, Dave Ricketts, Chuck Hiller. Hal Lanier. And down in the bullpen, Hub Kittle. Now the Redbirds non-starters. Infielder Mike Ramsey. In the bullpen, catcher Glenn Brummer. Infielder Julio Gonzalez. Outfielder Dane Orge. Outfielder Steve Braun. Pitcher Jeff Lottie. Pitcher John Martin. Pitcher Jim Cott. Pitcher Steve Mura. Pitcher Dave LaPointe. Pitcher Doug Bear. Pitcher Bruce Sutter. Pitcher Joaquin Andujar. Pitcher John Stuper. And outfielder Willie McGee. The St. Louis trainers are Gene Gieselman and trainer emeritus Bob Bowman, and the equipment manager is Butch Yackerman. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineup for the St. Louis Cardinals. Leading off for the Redbirds, number 28, second baseman Tom Hurd. Batting second, number 27, left fielder Lonnie Smith. Hitting third, number 37, first baseman Keith Hernandez. Batting cleanup, number 25, right fielder George Hendrick. Hitting fifth, number 18, designated hitter Gene Tennis. Batting sixth, the most valuable player in the National League Championship Series, number 15, catcher Darrell Porter. Hitting seventh, number 22, center fielder David Green. Batting eighth, number 10, third baseman Ken Oberkfell. Hitting ninth, number 1, shortstop, Ozzie Smith. And down in the bullpen, warming up for the Redbirds, number 31, Bob Forsch. And the manager of the National League champions, Whitey Herzog.
Game. Forsch against Caldwell. Here are the stats on Bob Forsch. He will not walk many. He will not strike out many. Pinpoint control. Good slider, curve, and as some of the scouts who scouted him for the Milwaukee Brewers said, he had about the liveliest fastball they'd seen him in 5 appearances against Atlanta. You have to hit your way on, and when you've got a defense.
First pitch of the World Series, 1982 style, foul ball out of play.
Game number 162.
Bouncing ball. Easy play. 1 out.
With a young pitching staff.
He was on the bench and somebody said, Hub, as long as it's taking you to get here, you probably want this to go 7 games. He said, no, I'd just as soon finish it in 4.
He pitched professionally for an inning or so when he was, what, 61 or 2? Got in for an inning, retired a few hitters.
Here is Ted Simmons, 23 home runs, 97 runs batted in, a .269 average. Struck him out. The time. And he drills one in the corner in left field. It is a foul ball. Foul ball. He almost hit that ball flat-footed, Tony.
It's almost flat-footed and peck away. Lonnie Smith ran a long way and came very close to catching that ball.
Green taking charge, makes the play.
David Green, formerly the property of the Brewers. This young man has exceptional talent. If you get a chance, you'll see a tremendous throwing arm. He might be just a shade slower than Willie McGee, who is just out of sight running speed. That's the man.
Out to the second baseman his first time up. Hits the first pitch in a hole. Watch out, these men.
Continues to play as deeply as he did. Now, this is really a routinely hit ground ball. Not hit too hard or too soft, but he had to go a long way to his right. He does not have an...
Tennis. Tennis is the DH. Whitey Herzog, of course, had the DH when he was over at Kansas City. He's voted the most valuable player. Well hit, right center field. Charlie Moore can't get it. Porter's got extra bases. Running it down is Gorman Thomas. Porter has a double.
In off-season, he has stayed hot as he was during the championship series. Charlie Moore got the big bounce, did slap it down. If that ball goes by him, I don't know if Gorman Thomas could have been there. It might have been a triple.
Going for 2. He is out.
So the bat is shattered. Again, probably the type of pitch that Force wanted to make. Get inside. Smith alertly throws out the diving Molitor. 6 ground ball outs that
1980 season. Simmons, Riley Fingers, and Pete Vukovich, who have all succeeded in Milwaukee, came over from St. Louis, and the Cardinals got Sixto Lizcano, Larry Sorensen, Dave LaPointe, and David Green. A good trade for both sides.
And Water at the same time. Controversial move that he made.
Hit well to right. If it's fair, it's gone. It hooks foul.
As you know, he went into that crouch. He's been smoking the ball pretty good. Driven in a lot of runs since the middle of June. Got out in front. Kind of pitcher doesn't mind making. Get the ball inside off the plate and say, go ahead, whale away.
This one's fair, and he will touch them all. Against his former battery mate. How sweet that one must have felt.
Here's the swing that touched it off. He really stayed with it, and he knew it was gone.
From Holland, Michigan, 62 games. He still throws strikes. Had a couple of saves, 5 wins. One of the oldest to ever pitch in a World Series game. If you're curious, 1 hit for St. Louis. Indeed, 43. Batting right-handed for the first time, and he singles to center off Jim Cott. First hit off due for Milwaukee, especially as the underdog, winning that first.
Pretty nice.
Ogilvie to Hernandez. It's a fair ball, and Ogilvie doesn't run a double play. Ogilvie thought it was foul.
You'll see Keith Hernandez. What he does is he's on the corner of the bag. He removes. No, he didn't remove.
No,
he never stepped on the bag.
Hit well to right center. Hendricks runs it down.
Step Andujar throws awfully hard.
Hit behind it. Ozzy's cut off. Nice play by the third baseman Obergefell. Beautiful play. I thought he was going to get by him.
Screwball ran away from Molitor.
Right back up the middle. Smith knocks it down.
The ideal temperament for a shortstop. He wants every ball hit to him. He has the intelligence of a
High hopper's going to be a tough play. Can't get it. Base hit for Porter. Right field. Charlie Moore going back near the wall, and he makes the grab. Charlie Moore makes the grab, taking an extra base hit away from David Green. Oberkfell. Base hit, center field. Porter holds at second.
With a sinker baller, Harlan on the mound. Gantner has been shading some left-hand hitters. Series.
Smith knocks it down. He's up. Here's a throw. It is not in time. Just missed him. Base hit, one more.
Lead against power into this World Series. We have seen the speed of the Brewers.
The Brewers tallied 10 runs, making starter Mike Caldwell's job easy as he breezed to the shutout. As lopsided a Game 1 victory.
October 12, 1982, Game 1 of the World Series at Busch Stadium. The St. Louis Cardinals and the Milwaukee Brewers. It was like a spring day in St. Louis. Clear skies and 60 degrees at game time. Bob Forsch against Mike Caldwell for the Brewers. Milwaukee got with the program early. With one out in the first inning, Robert Yount singled to left, and Cecil Cooper walked on 4 pitches. Ted Simmons struck out, but the nervous Cardinals gave up a run on an error by the man with the gold glove at first base. Gorman Thomas singled to deep short. Ozzie Smith couldn't handle it, and the Brewers led 2-0 before the Cardinals ever picked up a bat. The crowd of 53,000 sat in silence as the Brewers pushed their lead to 3-0 in the 4th inning. Charlie Moore doubled down the left field line and then was sacrificed to third. Paul Molitor delivered the run with a broken bat single to short center. He gambled and was thrown out at second, but Milwaukee led 3-0. One of the interesting sidebars to the series was the return to St. Louis of Ted Simmons. In the 5th inning, everyone was aware of Simmons' return, especially the Cardinals. Caldwell had cut down the Cardinals with just 1 hit into the 6th inning. The Brewers pushed their lead to 6-0, but Robert Yount doubled just inside the right field foul line, driving in Gantner and Molitor, and the rout was on. It was 6-0 Brewers. Caldwell and his sinker ball was the master on this night, as he limited the Cardinals to just 3 hits, and the Brewers won 10-0. Robert Yount and Paul Molitor were Milwaukee's big hit men. Molitor had a World Series record of 5 hits in the game.
Well, it's a little bit ironic that I make the first out of the game and Robin makes the last out, but somewhere in between we mixed in 9 hits. You know, I just went out there and tried to be aggressive, and the turf was a little bit to our advantage tonight, which is a little ironic with it being more suited to St. Louis's ball club, but we'll take it any way we can get it at this point.
Were you surprised you were able to hit Forsch that well?
Really, we didn't hit him that well. We got a lot of scratch hits, and we put the ball in play, but we didn't make the great contact. I think he was a little more wild than Forsch is usually. Didn't make the pitches that we heard he was capable of making, and that's, you know, a probable cause is World Series. You know, everyone feels a little tension that first day.
Finally, Caldwell was awesome tonight.
Well, Mike hasn't been pitching that well for us the last couple of weeks, and he'll be the first to tell you, but he had a sinker ball working today and a good hard slider. He didn't walk, I think, but 1 man, and kept the ball in play, and that's a typical Mike Caldwell ball game.
Whitey Herzog was philosophical after the game about the slaughter.
I'm lucky it only counted 1 game. I'm glad we didn't have a doubleheader.
The next night, Game 2 was critical to the Cards. Even in the eyes of some, a must-win.
If they'd been down 0-2 going to Milwaukee, which hadn't hosted a World Series since the 50s, that'd have been a tough nut for the Cardinals.
Game 2 of the 1982 World Series. The American League champions, the Milwaukee Brewers, against the National League champions, the St. Louis Cardinals. Boomer around town today as the Cardinals lost last night 10-0. And there is Lou Brock throwing out the first ball. All-time base stealer. Stan Musial right behind him, Hall of Famer. Brock certainly a future Hall of Famer. John Stuper in 1982 won 9, lost 7. 3.36 earned run average. The first pitch hit to the third baseman. Oberfell, 1 out. And that's when it gets tough. But there's only 1 out here. Right to Hernandez. To Smith, 1. Throw back. Double play. 3-6-3. So Stuper and the Cardinals get out of it on a 3.
Ozzie, look at how Hernandez jumps off quickly. Ozzie set up inside so he wouldn't have to throw across the runner. So too far inside, you saw the acrobat once again off balance. Nice scoop up by Hernandez. Not been that successful against the Cardinals in his career in Busch Stadium. He has 7 wins and 14 losses.
Right here. He wanted that first one to work for him. He got it, struck him out. Fastball.
Look was to second base. High chopper. Thomas gets a fairly good jump even though he's got an injured knee. Looking right towards second base to get the lead runner, keep him out of scoring position.
Charlie Moore, base runner at second. Line drive, base hit. Howell coming around to score all the way to the wall. Moore has himself at least a double. He stops at second. Milwaukee 1, Cardinals nothing. As Charlie Moore
they could come to the plate. Molitor comes in with a second run as Yount is thrown out 4-3. Molitor with a good piece of base running. He watched. It's hit well, and he will touch them all again. With apologies to Thomas Wolfe, you can come home.
Pitching from behind again as Forrest did in his area.
You could really see it on the 2-1 pitch, couldn't you, Tony?
Look at this. Got a ball a little bit of belt high, inside part of the plate. He does a little bit of Reggie Jackson right there because it was jolted.
That's the sign of the good pitcher.
1 ball, 1 strike. That's a base hit for Orr. Great stop by Cooper, and he gets Orr. It would have been tough to
prove they are more than a one-dimensional ball club, a power club. They showed the speed last night. They showed a little defense, but now they show you a lot of defense in the first of Cecil Cooper. Orr.
There he goes. He's got it.
Simmons didn't get much on that throw. It's a low throw, but then again, with McGee running, nice play by the infielder. Now, look at McGee. He's got his head down right for second base. He's going to straight out steal.
Willie McGee does not yet get a big lead. He is still learning. So whatever he steals, he usually...
Batter. He fly to left his first time up. 0 for 4 in the series. And he flies it deep to right center. No one there. It's a ground rule double and a 3-1 ball game. Line save. Here comes her. It's 3-2. Charlie Moore, the right fielder, gets that ball away like, well, almost better than any right fielder I can see in the American League. So far, all they can do is sit on fastballs off him if he keeps hanging the break. If he gets it down, they're going to start looking like that. That's the thing. Porter's starting to work in that breaking ball down and inside. Going. There he goes. And the inning is over as Molitor strikes out. And what a quality person. Hit well by Yount. Smith back, and Yount rattles the boards. Backed up by Willie McGee to hold Yount to a double. Cott pitched last night. An inning in the third, was the only Cardinal pitcher of 4 that was not touched up for a run by Milwaukee. He has a single and 2 trips, and he has another base hit. Here comes Yount around third. And Milwaukee builds its lead to 4-2.
And Dick, Tim Count was put in. Tried for
reliever in the last 4 or 5 years. Former Cincinnati Red teammate of Tom Seaver. 5 and 3, as you saw his numbers on the year. 8 saves and a good ERA. Trying to check up the early hit one between them. They're almost on the warning track. Runner goes, and Thomas strikes out. Four to 2 after 5 innings tonight. 1 and 2. He went around, said third base umpire Satch Davidson. That's right. 2 and 2. And a base hit. Thomas gets it in. Oberkfell is aboard. That brings the tying run to the plate. George Hendrick, another. There goes the runner. And Simmons won't get him. Great jump.
Simmons with his release, he had a breaking ball, but Whitey is getting exactly the reaction that he's looking for. There's the jump. He wants his ground to react. He wants his ball club to wake up, and nothing will do it quicker than a stone pull.
Ball 4.
He just would not give in. He went to the break spot like this.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner goes, and it's a base hit in the left field corner. Here comes Hendrick with a tying run. The ball gets away, and Porter goes to third.
gutsy call by manager Whitey Herzog. 2 runs down. He starts the runner with 1 ball and 2 strikes. Porter hung with the ball and just served it down the left field corner. Ogilvy's relay as Hendrick scores the tying run. And the ball just goes on through. Not backing up the plate. And Simmons has to go way down behind first base. And air will be given. Big league by the managers.
Well, there was a 2-strike pitch that he hit for a base hit against the Angels to get him into the series, and that a 2-strike delivery. Here comes Bruce Sutter, and we'll be right back to line, and they swing at bad balls. Tough play for Smith. Gets him. A marvelous play by Ozzie Smith, and they're on their feet at Busch Stadium.
Ozzie Smith steals it from Tommy Herr. That man is the biggest rally stopper in baseball right there, Ozzie Smith.
So the combination of Suter and the shortstop, Ozzie Smith, checks the Brewers. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. Stretch half of the 7th. 4 all time.
Play of Ozzie Smith with 2 men on, getting the last out. He has been so close to making spectacular plays to this point.
Just now lives in Walnut Creek, and David Green is the pinch hitter for Dane Orge. We're all top. Up the middle, base hit for Ozzie Smith. Now it'll be a real cat and mouse game here between Ozzie Smith, who can run, and McClure. There goes the runner. Pitch out. They should get him. Did not get him.
Looked like he had him on the pitch out. McClure unloads in a hurry. But Simmons, who is starting to drop down and throw a little more than 3/4, release point, lets the ball fly high. Ozzie Smith just guessing.
The new breed, belly flop slide.
And straight for that bag. He got there. Everything was against that. He struck him out. I'm sure. Hernandez has it. steps on the bag, and that was a tougher play than it looked. I'll tell you, he wasn't that sure he had it, but he had it. So we go into the bottom half of the eighth inning. 83,723 here. Ball four. Line drive, base hit, center field. Henrik stops at second. Porter with his second base hit. And here comes Harvey Keene.
McClure tries to sneak. Like a fastball that was cut or a slider. Past Porter, he jumped.
Ball four, bases are loaded.
Wow, Seth Simmons, I cannot believe it, neither can Peter Ladd. Simmons turned on home plate umpire Bill Haller. Now, we'll let you look at the 3-2 one-out pitch from Ladd to Lonnie Smith. Oh my goodness.
Tough to take that
Teddy
pitch.
just set the glove right there, not even jerking. You can see him turn right there.
The damage of the base on balls.
And here's where the advanced scout comes in. They had to bring the infield in, but Yount was playing Willie McGee, a slap hitter in close at third.
Hot smash! Hit the runner! Hit the runner! Hit the runner! The runs will not score. Ozzie Smith gets a base hit, but the inning is over. So Steve Braun.
The ball shoots so on this artificial surface. Braun tries to get away, gets him on the back of the left heel, and it took him out of a possible rally. 2 runs were going to score.
So we complete 8.
Early, but with an off day tomorrow, he's getting some innings pitched.
Trying for the base hit. Hernandez will have a tough play. He'll not make it. Molitor is on.
I wonder right there, Joe, if Hernandez didn't have
41 stolen bases. Only been caught 9 times. There he goes. Swung on and missed. The throw is in time.
Suter unloaded in a hurry. So did Porter, and Herr makes an excellent play to tear it out of the dirt and tag Molitor. Boy, did Porter get rid of that ball in a hurry, Joe.
Yes, he did. And it was Molitor looking to see what would happen, and I got to give her a lot of credit, not only digging it out, Tony, but staying. Ozzie Smith will have a long throw. Got him.
The result, a shift of fortune. 1 run. 2 runs. Must be the first ball I've hit to left in a couple of years, says Porter. Milwaukee 4, St. Louis 4, says the scoreboard. The pitcher remains unchanged till the 8th. When again, trouble brews for Milwaukee. In such a situation, manager Harvey Keene would normally call on bullpen ace Raleigh Fingers, the Cy Young winner in '81. But Fingers is out with a torn arm muscle. So the choice is rookie Peter Ladd, who, though inexperienced, retired 10 straight in the championship series. Lonnie Smith works him to a full count with 1 out and 2 on. Ball 4. said Ladd the inside edge of the ball, got the outside edge of the plate. But umpire Bill Haller said ball 4. At any rate, Steve Braun was now pinch hitting with the bases full of Redbirds, bearing down on a clearly shaken young Ladd.
Ball 4.
Ball 4 again. And for the first time, the running Redbirds walked off with the lead. 2 away. And everything's fair and square in World Series play. All tied at 1 game apiece. A hard-fought 5-4 comeback by the Cardinals, who refused to be swept off their home turf. Party is nothing new to Milwaukee fans, but having a World Series party, well, the last time that happened was in 1958 when Harvey Keene and Whitey Herzog were still playing. And Milwaukee uniforms said Braves instead of Brewers. But so much for history. Time for Game 3. Shortstop wizard Ozzie Smith ready to try his hand on real ground.
The pitchers, Andujar, just a couple statistics, 5-0, earned run average 0.62 September and October. But Vukovich, since the All-Star game, 8-2. That's impressive.
Well, what we're going to see, not only are they good pitchers, but 2 of the most colorful pitchers in the ball game.
The lineup for the St. Louis Cardinals, Tommy Herr leads off, playing at second base. Oberkfell batting second at third base. Keith Hernandez batting third at first base. George Hendrick will be in right field in the cleanup spot. The catcher will be Darrell Porter. He is batting fifth. Lonnie Smith is in left field. The designated hitter, Dane Orr. Willie McGee in center field bats 8th, and Ozzie Smith, the shortstop, bats 9th. Pete Vukovich.
He's a guy who, you look at his season stats and you would say these numbers do not translate to 18 wins, 1 loss. Tell you why. 223 innings pitched, a lot of hits, 234, and then you throw in 102 bases.
And what a year Andujar has had, 15-10. 2.47 earned run average. Averages 4.6 strike. 3-2 pitch. Straight away center field. McGee going back, near the wall. He makes the grab. Right in front of the 402 marker. Willie McGee hauls in a long drive by Paul Molitor.
So both pitchers go 3-2 on the first hitter. McGee played this ball like he knew exactly, feel like it was his home park. Goes straight back, turns, he found the wall. He's got a chance to be a sensational player.
Bouncing ball, Paul Molitor, long throw. It's a fair ball. We got some problems now. They're calling it third base. He's calling a fair ball in first base.
Jim Evans at third base, an American League umpire, was waving fair. Apparently Davy Phillips, the first. Keene wants somebody else to tell him what's going on. Jim Evans is the man on the right. He was the third base umpire. He said fair. Davy Phillips, the first base umpire, apparently thought he said foul. So, 2 American League umpires, a little confused in the calls that they made.
He's asking Cooper what he thought, and Cooper will give him the honest answer.
Hendrick saying, I thought I had it beaten out, Harvey.
He didn't tag him.
On the bag?
He's off the bag.
Yeah.
The confusion came in very simply when the hands of...
Meaning to Game 3, but for those would-be arbiters of the game of baseball, possibly more interest. George Hendrick batting in the second. Fair or foul? Safe or out? Simple. Well, not exactly. This one takes a keen eye. and also a little discussion from the Blue Crew.
He was safe. He was off the bag. The guy's staying there.
The result, a Milwaukee brouhaha.
Wait a minute. Look, the guy was going to be safe.
First ball was foul. Then
he went up and turned the ball went right over the bag.
He left his color off. He was out. He's out.
He came off the bag.
Oh, no. How do you know? How do you know? You're calling time, you didn't call.
To review, for those who thought the ball foul, it was fair. But there is confusion. Is the play dead? Well, now, if it's not dead, did the first baseman have his foot on the bag?
Well, no. Think about it. He did come off the bag.
Oh, wait a minute.
Harvey Keene has his say. What about Cecil Cooper? He was there.
Were you off the bag? Were you off the bag? I don't know if I was off the bag or not. But he said foul ball over there. He went I don't know if I was off the bag or not. I can't say. It was that blazing speed that did it, I'll tell you. Hey, George, I know better than that.
Even silent George Hendrick.
To play from the beginning. And watch Jim Evans, the umpire.
It's right on the line, so it's fair hit past the bag. He's saying fair. He first of all raised his hands in the air, which can be construed as a signal for a foul ball, like the stop.
We're both tied at 2.47. Andujar says, I'll take it. Whoa. He threw a 90-mile-an-hour over to first base.
That's one reason, sometimes not noted for having the best hands. If he can throw it that hard, he almost threw it by him right through the webbing.
Down the right field line. In fast Hendrick. He's got it. That ball was well hit. Hendrick makes a nice play.
He covers ground so easily. You look at a
broken bat chopper to short. And the Wizard of Oz, they call him, Ozzie Smith, has another.
He throws. He gets the ball from the glove hand as he looks at his glove. Boom. He has such great action. Just went to his mouth, and he's getting warned. He got the ball back, and while it was on his way, Fernandez, he went to his mouth on the pitcher's rubber, was straddling the rubber, and Kibler's going out right now, I think, to give him a warning. You betcha, right there. He threw over, and while Hernandez flipped it back,
ball one. He called it a ball.
Okay. Put his whole tips of his fingers in his mouth, and he got caught. He said, that's ball one. Why?
Kelly Andujar probably feels that he doesn't use that pitch. He got him. He sidearmed him with a breaking pitch, and Molitor chased it. Second strikeout for Andujar.
Even though his control's been a little bit shaky thus far, Andujar, that he has no fear throwing the ball out of the strike zone from down at the side, although that might have been a breaking ball.
Tommy Hurt, and the inning is over. So Joaquin Andujar pitches out of trouble. Second and third, one away, strikes out Molitor, and grounds
the first and went home.
1-2. Hit down the left field line again. Oglivie, another chance. Not nearly as spectacular or as dramatic as Sandy Ambrose a couple of decades ago in Yankee Stadium, but nevertheless a good play.
And you can see when he
2-1 pitch. Aimed right at the center fielder, and McGee almost misread it. That ball taking off to center and left center. A golf shot by Cooper for
his hammer.
Simmons, who has 2 home runs in this series, sends it high to right and playable. Hendrick squeezes the second out.
Probably got it up a little bit on the trade.
He's going to be the trick-or-treaters tonight. Did he go around? Yes, says third base umpire Jim Evans. He hit 307, and he drives this one into the gap in left center. Oglivie can't cut it off, and Smith falls down, rounding first base, and will settle for a double. Well, they call him Skates because he has trouble making the quick moves, and he'd stumble over the first base bag. I doubt if he could have legged it into a triple, but with his speed, he might have.
Oglivie struggled going after the ball. We'll isolate on Lonnie Smith. He may have been thinking triple. Watch what happens right here. He slips as he goes from the grass to the dirt portion. Possibility that he might have gotten a triple, but we won't know. It's interesting, on dirt and grass, they may be using different kinds of shooters.
And Yount trying to keep him close. Grounded to Cooper. Can't find the handle. Smith will hold at third. It was a tough chance for Cecil. So runners at first and third, one out.
Cooper goes a long way to his right on an off-speed pitch. The ball hits about in the center of his glove.
Hey, McGee, who can run. He's tough to double up. One out. Hit high and deep to right field, and Moore going back. McGee will touch them all. A 3-run home run for rookie Willie McGee, and the Cardinals jump in front 3-0.
Who'd hit but 4 homers all year, gave Milwaukee a double dose of its own medicine.
Oh, and into right field. Way back goes Moore. Way back. Way back. Willie McGee has just hit a 3-run homer and put the Cardinals on top.
Might recall in the league championship series after Willie.
With a 3-run home run, 2 hits, an error, and no one left. We're at the halfway mark in this third game of the World Series. 4.5 innings in the book, and St. Louis leads by 3. McGee of the St. Louis Cardinals giving them the 3-0 lead, and Ozzie Smith takes care of Charlie Moore, and for the 4th time in 5 innings, Brewers on McGee's home run, 3 to an area. That's a scrapbook picture. Rolling fingers now with Milwaukee. Gene Tennis, the Cardinal catcher. Of course, they were teammates. 72, 73, 74 World Series, and Tennis was the most valuable player in the 72 series when he out 0 for 2 tonight, and that could be 2. Smith, Hernandez, double play.
Isn't Ozzie beautiful? You see him hurdle that runner coming in. Gander coming hard. Smith does what the good shortstops do. He uses the bag for his protection, and he went right at the run outside and inside.
Hit to right center, and no one's there. And look at Smith go this time. He's looking for a triple. He's got it. The ball goes in the dugout, and Smith will score. It's 4-0.
Well, Lonnie didn't do it in games 1 and 2, but he is so far tonight getting a chance to see the speed of this Cardinal ball in grass as they can on the turf. He gets going. It causes a lot of trouble. Lonnie this time cutting the bag with his right foot. He never used a coach. He's watching the ball all the way. Now he show you what happens on the relay throw. Chuck Killer saying get down. Molitor might have been blocked out, and when the ball skidded and may have hit something and went in the dugout. Tight at third in case McGee should try and drop a bunt down. Look out.
Oh, that's 2 for McGee. Another homer.
What a day that kid's having. Hit a fastball for the first home run. It looked like something off-speed pitch. He may have thrown a change-up slider.
Now he swings and hits it down the line and right. That's going to go. Adios. And it is Willie's second home run of the game.
They back.
After the listen to him.
Let's see the location. A little bit up in the strike zone, but he's still at
nothing.
So here's the first pitch to McGee. Get a point of reference. Watch when he pushes him back. Now he's got him back. Look about where he is, even with Kibler's right foot. Now watch when he comes back in the batter's box. He's a little farther back. You'll be able to see Kibler all the way.
Yes, he is.
He is further back, almost like he was looking for it, and he really nails it.
Interesting thing about part about McGee is about 8 years ago he broke his right arm above the elbow. He got a shot in it. It didn't heal properly. The bone.
2-strike pitch, high fly ball. McGee has room. 1 out.
So I don't know if Willie McGee can continue to develop that kind of power, but what you're looking at in McGee, a guy who can run with his speed, the possibility of 75, 80 bases if he stays healthy. He has a good throwing arm. He's going to be a good average hitter, it looks like, with his speed. He's going to be a 300 hitter. With that kind of power, that's a lot of versatility. That's a lot of things built in that one man.
He becomes a tough pitcher. Right off his knee again. He can't move. He's hurt. Andahar is hurt. He is down. Here comes Gene Gieselman. He was hit a line drive, but he's hurt this time on the kneecap. He is in real pain.
Duck on it.
Andahar hit by a smash off the bat of Ted Simmons. Bob Bowman coming out along with Gene Gieselman.
Pitching such a brilliant ball game, and he got cracked solidly. Dr. London, that Teddy Simmons. Andahar. There's the ball tailing away from Simmons. It is hit so hard he just can't recover. He was in a pretty good fielding position right there too, Joe, but the ball just hit so hard. Simmons going up the middle. You see Joaquin go down.
And
that's one of those deals where you almost wish a guy had a poor follow-through and followed through, crossing over, and the ball would have missed him. He is in just tremendous pain, as you see by this replay. And it is a doggone shame because, well, as this series goes along, we'll see how he progresses.
They're going
that
to bring
doesn't look like a very, very good spot.
Now they're going to bring in a pitcher, and of course he'll be allowed as much time as he needs to warm up.
So the man now for St. Louis in the bullpen is Doug Bear, who pitched so brilliantly in game number 2. Todd also up, the left-hander.
Listen to this Milwaukee crowd. Just tremendous tribute to Andahar as they walk off, even though they're ball club trailing by 5 runs.
Not only sad that scene because he's lost tonight, but when you judge that picture, will he be able to come back at all?
Doug Bear will come.
He's just as spry at 43, the oldest ever pitch as a National Leaguer in a World Series.
Kick you back
in the runner. He got him on strikes. Ogilvy called out on strikes. Cott gets out number 2. Near the stands, might be playable. He makes the catch. What a play he made right in front of the dugout on the very first pitch. Moore fouls out. Look at Hub Kittle. That really says it all. Oberfeld.
That wind started drifting the ball back into the field of play, and some of the players went over to help, and you might see a little bit of ball right here. He makes an excellent play.
5-run lead playing behind him. Well hit, deep to right field. This could be 2. It is out of here. Listen to the crowd. Thomas and Money. Left field.
You're on.
An interference on the catcher, and George Hendrick was awarded first base because the bat was tipped by the catcher Simmons, so it'll go.
Pitch from Vukovic on the fly ball to short left field. How the interference takes place. Sure couldn't see it on that.
Porter squares around, bunts in the air. Cooper's got a play, and he makes it.
And by Cecil Cooper, he made a good play diving to his right in game number 2. Might have saved some trouble. And will go against Moose Haas, who has really pitched a good ball game against the Angels.
Fly ball deep to left field. Going back is Ogilvy. He's got room. He makes the play at the warning track. So Lonnie.
It's close.
Pulled down the line. It is a foul ball. Except that these Milwaukee Brewers, Tony, they came within an eyelash of losing the ball.
Named Keene, the manager.
Down the right field line. This one is a fair ball. It bounces. It is touched by a fan, so Hendrick will stop at third. He's going to coming around, but he'll stop at third. They'll run him back because it was handled by a fan. A one-hopper, and George, he's smiling because he was going all out. Watch this. You'll see it.
The ball bounces in clearly. It's a ground rule double. This particular one, fan interference. Left up, setting him back.
I'll bet he loses the argument.
I wouldn't doubt it, but it's a judgment call. And anytime you go out and make an argument with an umpire, he said, well, in my judgment, but he said, okay, I understand now. He's going now. Kibler, Whitey wants Kibler to go out and ask the right field foul line umpire Bill Haller. We're also talking to Davey Phillips. Whitey's now probably pointing out, hey, look who's running. If you're going to use judgment, Dane Orange is not the fastest runner, but George Hendrick can let it out once he gets going. And in my judgment, I think he'd have scored, but you know whose judgment's going to win out, don't you?
Well, I think he would have tried to score him, don't you? I think Hiller was going to wave him home and give it a shot.
He did. He had him wave him. He was looking like a windmill down at third base, Coach, and Hiller had him coming all the way.
Well, you never know.
Another profusion of confusion. George Hendrick races for home, but again his blazing speed is cause for question.
George would have scored on that ball. He called fan interference.
Didn't it go out of the park? I didn't see what happened.
Out of the park?
That's what I thought.
Okay,
you want me to check?
Yeah, check it.
Hey! That ball go out of the park?
No. Interference. The guy touched the ball. Interference. He reached down. He reached down.
He didn't score. The Chargers at third base. Yes. That's judgment.
It doesn't have to now, Whitey, and he's only going to third now when they call.
He's going to score.
I don't think he would have.
Oh, hell, we were going to send him. He made it easy.
It all goes to prove that judgment is in the eye of the beholder. But enough.
2 men out, bases loaded. Walked him. So it's 6-2.
That'll get Harvey Keene out of the dugout. Got to think of a guy like Vukovic, probably tired. He's had with his backs to the warning track.
Well hit, way back. Listen to the reaction. Oh, boy. What a catch he made, Willie McGee. Willie McGee, with the bat and with the glove, has been a one-man show tonight.
The potential of McGee unlimited. We saw him go deep to defense to Rob Mauler. This ball is over the yellow line, in the seats. Might have gotten the Brewers back into it. Look at him time that ball.
Great leaping ability. That's like a basketball player going forward.
He got him, struck him out. Down money, called out on strikes.
Mechanics, when he gets messed up, he uses a Red Sox minor league pitching coach, Mike Rourke.
This could be the ball game. McGee coming in. He makes the catch.
That's
that ends the ball game. And so Willie McGee, and it was the Willie McGee night as Ozzie Smith, Tommy Herr, youngster with 2 home runs, 1 a 3-run homer, a sensational catch to take a home run away from Gorman Thomas, and the final score, St. Louis 6-2 over Milwaukee.
And perhaps a bittersweet victory for the St. Louis Cardinals, losing Joaquin Andujar, although the reports are good from the hospital. Andujar pitching brilliantly, but hit in the knee on a shot off the bat of catcher Ted Simmons. But on the plus side, Willie McGee, the rookie, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs to spark the Cardinals to a key 6-1 in this pivotal 3rd game. And McGee capped it off by robbing a home run from Gorman Thomas.
So Game 3 of the 1982 World Series has been brought to you by...
At 1 game apiece, the series shifted to Milwaukee, where a rail-thin rookie would power the Redbirds.
That might have been one of the greatest World Series games played by any individual in the history of the game.
Straight away, center field. McGee going back, near the wall. He makes the grab.
Hit high and deep to right field. Moore going back. McGee will touch them all. A 3-run home run for rookie Willie McGee, and the Cardinals jump in front 3-0.
That was a situation where you had a young player who was in the World Series for the first time, who was taking advantage of the opportunity.
McGee hits another drive to right field, and that might go. It's gone. Home run McGee. And it is 5-0 St. Louis.
2 home runs in one game from a player who'd hit just 4 all season.
The 2 home runs that Willie hit were big, but I think even more important than that was the robbing of Gorman Thomas home run.
Gorman hits a high fly ball into left center field. McGee to the wall, leaps in the air, caught the ball. Willie McGee took a 2-run home run away from Gorman Thomas.
McGee's tremendous performance led the Cards to a 6-2 win and their first series lead.
Our 1982 additions to that historical montage: Caldwell's cool shutout, Suter's sinker ball, and Andujar's agony. And we're set.
Stretch was like a forgotten man. For part of the reason is when they got Sutton, he went 5-1 late in the season. Oz didn't pitch.
Hot smash, fair ball, down the line. Looks like extra bases for Oberkfell. He's heading for second. Up with the ball is Moore, and it's a double.
So like yesterday, it is so important for this Cardinal ball club to be able to use their speed throughout this series to get a run early. Keep the Brewers from scoring, especially to try and turn this hometown crowd off. You see it, although it bounces in foul territory, past the bag when they're ready.
They want to tie this series up. Robin Young.
Whoa,
tough play. Here comes Oberkfell. He's going to come around the score, and the Cardinals take a 1-0 lead. On a high hopper, a tough play for Robin Young. It'll go as in
4 runs. Right now, Robin's caught in the middle. He knows if he waits back for the second big hop, Hendricks will beat it out. He gets it on the in-between hop.
He's holding. Little looper. It's a base hit. Hendrick rounding second. He'll hold on.
Former Brewer, a great straight changeup. Fastball moves away. Hard slider.
First pitch, swings right at the third baseman, Oberkfell. He's got him.
53 times.
He's running
almost
for
700 plate appearances.
There he goes, and there's a double play. Line drive right at him. That's the gamble you take. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. A base hit, he's at third base, but it was right at him. It's the only rookies to hit 2 home runs in the game, and he's got another base hit to left field. So McGee is on, and he's liable to run at any time. There he goes. There's the pitch out, and he couldn't throw the ball and throws the ball badly now. He double pumped it, and he had the play diagnosed, and I wonder if somebody was late.
Said and let Nelson Burbrink try to hold your position. The shortstop and the second base. I don't think it was going to matter anyways because
High fly ball, center field. Thomas is going back. It'll score at least one. I say one because Ozzie Smith can run. Gorman Thomas falls. They're going to try to score two. Here comes the relay throw. It is not in time.
Wasn't that something? That wind just kept pushing me back to the warning track, and we have talked about the Cardinals' speed. They showed it in Game 2 on the turf. Sacrifice fly, 2 RBIs, a very unusual official scoring decision that you see one time a year, maybe once every couple of years. Gorman just keeps backpedaling, slips right here as the wind really fooled him. Blowing much stronger up high. Watch out, he's going home all the way, Joe. All the way, and Chuck Hiller says, keep on coming. He picked it up, he really did it on his own, and Hiller says, here you go.
Tony, that's why I said they're going to score one easily, because you could see him really cranking up the engines.
Good walking lead, he's gone.
Simmons will not get him. He had no chance. He couldn't have got him unless he had a 30-30 out there. He had a walking lead. He was walking.
Haas had his head in the ball game against the Angels, pitched so brilliantly. And today he's out there somewhat befuddled. Paid no attention to Oberkfell, who had a 2 or 9.
That's Oberkfell at second base. 3-0 pitch. Hot smash. Gantner can't get it through his legs. Here comes Oberkfell. He's going to score. Hernandez heading for second. Here's the throw. It is not in time.
An interesting scoring decision because Gantner was handcuffed the ball. He had to back up, and it's 6 good innings at least out of this guy. Anything after that, he'll take. It's a bonus.
Simmons doesn't get it. Change of pace, and Simmons is out on strikes. He kind of turned it
for Joe and Dick, and a doctor wanted to perform surgery on it. And Ed Sprague, a former pitcher, said, don't let him cut on you. It was the same kind of surgery they were talking about as Tommy John had. And he worked throwing against.
You got to block it. 2-2 pitch. May have chased a bad ball out on strikes, and that ends the inning. Second strikeout for LaPointe, so we complete 2 innings of baseball here. I'm sure you recognize that man. You'll be seeing him in the Devlin Connection every Saturday at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. That's Mr. Rock Hudson. You know, I did an interview with Rock Hudson from Monitor Radio, and boy, you ought to see all the secretaries that came down to see me do that interview.
There's the big trade, and it helped both clubs.
And there are many baseball officials here looking to make trades.
Moscato now at San Diego, Sorensen in Cleveland. Goes after a bad pitch. Looked like a tough, hard slider. Bounced.
So the Brewers are
on NBC's Sports World.
Oh,
Smith. Molitor can't get him, and Ozzie Smith has a bunt single.
I think it's interesting how we've talked about the accurate time. Now, this is Ozzie Smith running on the bunt as he beats it out, and Molitor was looking for it. But McGee, when you said he ran so easily, and Ozzie Smith's not too far behind, but 3-2 is unheard of. Mantle had done it in 3 or 3-1 on a drag bunt before.
Does not want to make a mistake to Gorman Thomas, who among the home run hitters, defining that as anyone who hit 20 or more, pops it up again. It'll be out of play. He has hit some giant pop flies. No, it won't be out of play.
Wind pushed it back in, Dick. That ball was 4-5, rose in the seats, and Porter did not quit on it. And that wind that has drifted the ball so deeply to the outfield also pushed this ball back in. Look at Darrell Porter. Flips the mask, Joe. He really hustled.
He did a good job of finding that fence and just waiting for it, and he cradled it. He had some more room to go.
Right at Hernandez, and the inning is over. So the Brewers, no runs a hit, they lead 2. We've completed 4 innings of Game 4 and hit a 6-run home run. Up the middle, Smith gets a double play. Oh my!
He somehow fielded the ball, kept, and turned it into a double play. This man has tremendous. It's really LaPointe's ball, but for a poor foul. Watch Smith come in your picture. Hers there, he steals it from him while his right foot is on the bag. Off balance throw, wacko, stops another rally.
That's incredible. The magic of the Wizard of Oz.
And Charlie Moore came up limping after this. We're right now, we're on Ozzie Smith because it's so brilliant, but he limped off.
Stop. Both looking for a shot at Marvin Hagler. Hope you'll stay with us. Fair ball. By the reach of Molitor, might even gotten a piece of it. And Smith, with his speed, has a stand-up double.
Show you how the Cardinals have made the best of Brewer mistakes and a few hits. They'd had 4 runs on just 5 hits. That was the 6 right there. Playing shallow may have cost him. That's another thing with Speed will do. He has to play a little shallow in case Lonnie might try and drop a bunt.
Smith with a double. There he goes.
Yeah.
And it's hit the right center field. A very tough play. It's going to fall. In comes Smith on a double by Orge, and it's 5-1 St. Louis.
Harvey's got to get a pitcher in there and try and shut something down here. He went with Vukovic a long time.
Yount another chance. Did he pull him off? Yes, he did.
Running the bases as he leaps over the tag from Cooper. Ozzie Speed, you can see he's a little bit gimpy. He's not running all out because of that severely bruised thigh muscle. He missed 18 of the last 23 ball games that the Cardinals played.
Of this time, Roland Fingers with over 300 saves. Bruce Sutter, Fireman of the Year again this year in the National League, over 200. Or two of those two men tough to beat. Yount with a line drive stab by LaPointe on a short hop and throws him out. Now LaPointe fielding his position and saving a leadoff hit.
That's typical of Harvey's wall bangers, as they have been called. They showed it in game number 1. There they are, what Dick was telling you about. Quisenberry, not as much experience as these two, but creeping up.
And shading into the hole for the switch hitting catcher. And Willie McGee straight away center, and it's an easy inning for Dave LaPointe. 1, 2, 3, and after 6 innings, County Stadium in Milwaukee. Dave LaPointe
came back 3 down against the Braves, something like $5,700.
He dropped it. Let's see how they call it. Davison is not indicated. Watch this. It takes a bad hop.
Look at how slowly he is to get over. That follow-through falling off to the right. Ogilvie really isn't running very hard. Ogilvie didn't run hard. I don't know if that rib cage is so painful that it bothers him. There's sometimes that rib cage injury like he's got can bother you breathing. It's taped up. Bobbles the ball, knocks it around, so.
A little looper. It's going to drop for a base hit. Ogilvie stops at second. Money's at first. Brewers have something going. It's popped up. They call it an infield fly now. The umpire's waiting to see if the right center field. That ball is going to drop. 1 run is in. Heading for third is Money. Heading for second is Gantner. 5-2. Base runners at second and third. Hit right field. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. Heading for third is Molitor. 5-4.
2 balls, 1 strike. Bad pitch. Bear tried to jab him up and in. Check swing. Looks it for a single and 2 RBIs. Robin Yount.
Break in the action. We'll be back after these messages. High hopper. Foul ball, foul ball, foul ball.
Carter will argue it's the home plate umpire's call. It's Davy Phillips. Position of the ball, not. Here it is from a right field shot right down the line. It's in fair territory. He leaps from fair to foul. The position of the ball was in foul territory. Cooper's call, he'll tell you where it was. Look at Davy Phillips, very alert.
Hot smash, knocked down, we're tied up. A wild pitch all the way back. Runners advance. Base hit. Brewers will take the lead. 1 run in. 2 runs are in. Simmons heading for third. Thomas for second.
drive, base hit, center field. Porter's rounding second, heading for third. It's first and third. And the batter is Willie McGee. Orge singles to center field.
And one for Orge.
Boy, that Orge in the lineup because he swings a good bat. He had two.
University of Wisconsin basketball team till he signed professionally.
High fly ball, left field. Lonnie Smith. Hey, misjudged it. And now we go into the...
It appeared to carry over to Game 4 when St. Louis sped, literally, to a 5-1 lead.
Willie McGee down at third. Ozzie Smith is on at second. The batter is Tommy Herb. High fly ball, center field. Thomas is going back. It'll score at least one. I say one because Ozzie Smith can run. Gorman Thomas falls. They're going to try to score two. Here comes the relay throw. It is not in time.
Suddenly, the Brewers were staring at a possible 3-1 deficit until a door opened ever so slightly in the 7th.
He dropped it.
LaPointe dropped the ball, and the story goes that Hernandez says if that had been a cheeseburger, you would have caught it, because LaPointe was kind of a portly player. Now, maybe that story was Whitey saying Hernandez would have said that, but that was the best line that came out of that.
This afternoon from Milwaukee, NBC Sports presents Game 5 of the 1982 World Series. The American League champions, the Milwaukee Brewers, against the National League champions, the St. Louis Cardinals. Another capacity crowd, temperature 50 degrees, but the fans, they are dressed for this occasion. They've come in woolen caps, gloves, and they're ready for Game 5 of this World Series. It'll be Caldwell against Bob Forsch.
And it'll be interesting to see with that cold wind blowing the moisture off their fingers if they can control their off-speed stuff.
He doesn't have a sweatshirt on. He thinks it's July 4th. And I guess in the 5th game of the World Series, if you won the first one, it doesn't make any difference about the weather. Cardinals, and Lonnie Smith is the designated hitter today.
Well, this is the 5th different lineup that Whitey Herzog has used.
First pitch, deflected. Lonnie Smith is on with the single. The first pitch of the game, and Lonnie Smith is on. David Green will bat second, batting third. 1-2 pitch. There goes Smith. The throw. Safe. Green is out on strikes, but Smith steals the base.
And what great position by second base umpire Bill Haller, or actually Lee Wire, right on the play.
One ball, no strikes on Hernandez, looking for his first base hit. 2 balls and no strikes, 1 out. Lonnie Smith is on at second base.
Coming right at you, Lonnie Smith, who just stole second base a while ago. Right on the money by Ted Simmons, and he unloaded in a hurry. You can see the advantage that he has throwing with a left-handed Hernandez up. You can see the runner go. Does not have to throw to the top of the head of the right-handed hitter.
Catch the ball, and the tag was actually made by Smith. Hernandez lines one to right field. That's his first base hit of the World Series. So what a key play by Ted Simmons getting Lonnie Smith.
Whitey Herzog, who has lived by the sword all year long, just died a little bit by that because he lets his runners run, and that's the way he wanted. He'll continue to do it.
There is Lonnie Smith, who tried to steal third. Went 5 2/3 innings, allowed 6 runs, 4 were earned runs, gave up 10 hits. The Cardinals lost that game 10-0. Bob Forsch, he doesn't strike out many, 2.7 strikeout involved.
Bob Forsch just overthrew a little bit.
Simmons. High bouncy ball. Hernandez is going to take the play at first, and a run scores. He's starting to come to the plate, and Milwaukee leads 1-0.
Well, the first half of the season he was 6-8 with almost a 5 ERA, and then he went on a tear.
Line drive. That's a base hit in the right center field. Oberkfell rounding first. He's going to hold on with the single.
We've got a left-handed pitcher on the mound, glove on the right side. If that glove's on his left hand, he would not have had time enough to react. Watch right there. It's posed right there. He's got to move maybe, 6 inches, a foot at the most, just enough to deflect it. Because of that, Ozzie Smith does not have a base hit.
That's 3 balls now that have been driven back.
Bases, he hasn't stolen many, but he's capable of it. Defensively, who's been better in the last 25 years? Aparicio, he didn't have the power.
David Green scuffs one to right. Charlie Moore can't get it, and no one's backing him up, and Green can run. He's on his way to third. And will hold with a triple. Had that ball been hit a bit harder and rolled to the track or wall, that's an inside the park home run. So Green serves a triple.
Barfield from Toronto, a good-looking young player. He jammed him a little bit. You wonder, as we watch him circle the bases, what might have been if not for the play on Ozzie Smith by Caldwell, Lonnie Smith by Robin Yount, and those are the things that started happening to this Cardinal team in about, the 7th inning yesterday? Things started to go against them a little bit, but they keep punching away.
It's hard.
So he's hitting a lot of balls, 5 or 6 or so hard, but right at people.
Drive to left center field, and no one there. Oh, yes, there is. Thomas, who almost makes a great catch. Green scores. It's tied at 1 on a double by Hernandez. A couple more inches again. A triple and a double, and the Birds are even.
And Joe, and Dick, that tough wind we've been talking about, off the bat of the left-hander, it's going to slice anyway, but the wind slices it more. I'll tell you, if he doesn't stop that ball, Hernandez may have gone all the way, as he runs well. Never looked, Dick, like he was going to get close at all, and yet somehow he got a glove on it. Look at where Ogilvy, he's finally coming over, and if that ball rolled...
Hernandez for the tie-breaking run. Tough play. Gantner saves a run, and on with a base hit is Hendrick. 3 consecutive hits by the Cardinals. Gantner smothering the ball.
And when you look at the first 5 hitters in this inning, the Cardinals could have had, might have had nobody out and about 3 runs home, except for some defense by the Brewers.
So Hendrick saved it first. 1 ball, 1 strike. Run will come in. Oh, what a play by Hernandez to save a base hit and another run. Oh, there's a Golden Glove at work. It's 2-1 Milwaukee, but Hernandez saved a big inning.
In the Cardinals' third, the Brewers, with excellent defense, may have saved 3 runs. Who knows how many, because the Cardinals hit the ball hard. Right here, Keith Hernandez, with an unusual position to start with, glove down to keep his body and glove low. He got a wicked hop and just picked it up like a cherry off a tree.
Ball was by him.
What a play.
Every time I see a play like that.
Thomas and Moore left to right. Shade Oberkfell the other way, and he hits it to right field for a base hit. So 2 solid singles by the smooth swinging Ken Oberkfell.
So why throw over there? They're just holding for me.
Ground ball. Gander. Oh! He's bobbles it, and Oberkfell elects to go back to second. He took a big turn and scampered back. So an error by Gantner. He had a possible double play ball. Molitor gets 1 out there. Double play.
Molitor can be erratic, but he's played 4 different positions over the last 5 years, including second, short, center field, right field. That makes 5, really. Makes a nice play.
He's holding Tony with Ogilvy. Also hurt. Going.
And that's an easy double play. Thomas, who struck out 143 times during the course of the season, strikes out into a double play, and there's 2 gone in the 4th.
That might have been a breaking pitch. Slider? Let me check with our experts over there. Tommy, sitting in the next booth, and Paul Moscow. Yep, they give us the sign. It's a breaking ball, 3-2. He chased. It's just no contest. Get something going. Move some runners.
Hit to right center. Charlie Moore. Speaking of catchers, some of them wind up in right field.
Ball is slicing toward him. You mentioned a while ago, Dick Enberg, that the catch that Thomas almost made reminded you of Swoboda. How about this one? Same spot in the diamond, right dirt. The dirt pop-up. This angle may show it better.
Hard to tell, but it appears that it's nothing but dirt there.
So I don't think it hit his shoe.
If it hit, Heller's got better eyes than their cameras.
What?
Squeeze play is a verbal signal.
Steve Mura, John Martin, left-hander, in the Cardinal bullpen. Neither man has appeared in this World Series. Base hit, and the Brewers lead 3-1. Breaking ball away. So Bob Force does not wilt under the pressure of that bases loaded situation with a crowd late afternoon, but Caldwell working without a sweatshirt, and McGee sends a single to right. Light rain, drizzle falling now.
After Bill Russell's back was shattered and Yeager was in the on-deck circle and hit him right in the throat. They designed it to protect that area.
Oberkfell to Herr. Good catch by Herr, and he turns a double play. And Thomas may be hurt. He's playing on that bang knee. Base hit to right field. And Ozzie Smith moves into second base. He had to hesitate to make sure that ball was going to drop, and with no one out, wasn't going to take any chances. One out. Cooper may have a double play. No, safe, and here comes the... Oh, almost. Ozzie was bluffing down the line as if he was going to come to the plate. Caldwell.
What pressure put on by Lonnie Smith, Joe?
Tremendous plays here. Smith, Hernandez is running very hard, as you can well see, and Caldwell, just a fantastic play. He simply saved himself a run.
He made a fantastic play, as you see Smith, but shouldn't Caldwell have been there a bit sooner? Had he been to the bag, they could have gotten the double play.
I don't think it's unlike that. A left-handed pitcher falling off toward third base. But
Two balls and a strike.
Good hitter's pitch.
Up the middle, base hit. Ozzie Smith scores. Hernandez will stop at second on George Hendricks. RBI single. It's 3-2. 2 out, and Darrell Porter facing Mike Caldwell. Cooper, a great stop. Makes the play. Oh, my.
Well, we don't know for sure, but the Brewer defense may have saved 4, 5, who knows how many runs so far with outstanding play number 6. A great play by Cooper.
So 1 run, 2 hits, and 2 men left to the stretch half of the 7th inning at County Stadium. Milwaukee fans are up and happy.
For him to get up when the team is behind. Usually when it's tied or the Cardinals have a 1 or 2 or 3 run lead.
Well hit, right field. He's got his 4th hit, home run.
As his hitting instructor, because Harvey never told him to try and pull the ball. He said, you are strong enough to hit him out anywhere. And he just showed you.
Base hit past Robin Young. So Oberkfell has his third base hit of the afternoon with Simmons. And Simmons is out on strike, so there's one away. He got him on strike, so Gorman Thomas is out on strikes. 2 outs, both strikeouts. Base hit. Here comes Ogilvy. He's going to come around to score. It's 5-2. Money goes into third. Another base hit. Money scores. It's 6-2. Charlie Moore heading for third. Molitor, 1 out.
All this series, the best defensive infield in baseball belongs to the St. Louis Cardinals, but after today, I may come up with a tie after this play. The way Cooper has played, and Yount, Gantner.
And Mike Caldwell, who won the first game, has been just in complete command. Base hit by David Green. And he's heading for 2, and he'll make it. A double for Green. So he's on at second base. 6-2 is his score. Base hit in the right center field. Dave Green will score easily. It's extra bases for Hernandez. He has himself a double.
And don't say finito yet, folks.
Up the middle, a base hit. It is 6-4. Henrik is on, and now the tying run is at the plate.
Caldwell.
And here comes Harvey.
And Raleigh's not up. Peter Ladd is.
It's interesting, too, because you had Ladd.
The new pitcher, and he did quite a job for him, Tony.
Joe, when you look at the grass today, the great plays by the Brewers, and they were great in their defense. What if, again, if we play to the other court?
Base hit in the right field. Henrik will stop at second base. And the crowd now has to go silent because these Cardinals
the value of a catcher named Ted Simmons. The first pitch up in the strike zone. Teddy went out of the conference. Sinker low, breaking ball low.
That was a great
runner also at first base.
Ramsey's
reporter,
coming in.
Mike Ramsey. Well, Gene Tennis has had a taste of MVP history.
Hit 4 home runs. His first 2 at-bats in the World Series were home runs. That's a record.
Left field, this could be it.
Game 5. With their bats now apparently back in the groove, the Brewers look to move up a game in the series behind the pitching hero of the first contest. In that game, Mike Caldwell retired 27 of 31 batters in pitching the best game of his life. But this time, the Cardinals don't find his pitches quite so impossible. St. Louis stings Caldwell for 14 hits and in every inning gets at least 1 base runner. That's asking for it, since the Redbirds stole 200 bases during the season. But Caldwell hangs tough with a little help from his mates. Repeatedly, the audience thundered up a big hand for the helping hands, as it did on every trip to the plate by superhero Robin Yount. Bob Forsch couldn't stop Yount in the first game and couldn't stop him here in Game 5, as once again Rockin' Robin knocked out 4 hits. No one had ever had 2 4-hit games in World Series competition, but now Robin Yount did it twice in the same series. Base hit number 4 went for 4 bases and gave the Brewers a 4-2 lead in the 7th. It gave Yount a .524 average with 6 RBIs and led the way to a 6-4 Brewer victory and a 3-2 lead in the World Series. Milwaukee Brewers were in the driver's seat. But then again, 'twas the Cardinals who were going home, home to that familiar arch, home to the Mississippi. Home to Busch Stadium, a ballpark with artificial grass and a field designed for speed. Game 6, no tomorrow, as they say, for St. Louis. Rookie John Stuper with good cause to be nervous.
Well, this game will go on indefinitely. They'll complete 9 innings with the rain interrupt. Up the middle, right back to John Stuper. The streak is broken, and both batters, Molitor and Yount, have hit it on the handle. Milwaukee, Cooper to left field. Lonnie Smith near the line. Makes the play. It's 3 up, 3 down. Milwaukee. Bouncing ball, Oberkfell at third, over to second, 1 out, over to first, a double play.
Two men on, nobody out. Oberkfell had a battle at dirt and the seam, and Tommy Herr unloads. Lewis using a guy like Dane Orge, who'd never DH'd before his first time here, World Series.
Down the left field line, Ogilvy near the line, and he doesn't make the play. It's a fair ball. It's at least 2 he's going to hold up.
The wind have an effect on a ball as it's blowing very sharply into the...
Robin Yount through his legs into left field. Cardinals lead 1-0.
Early in Robin Yount's career, when he came up as an 18-year-old, he was making a lot of errors.
Holding. Deep to right field, way back. It's fair. It is home run. No, off the wall, off the wall. Here comes Willie McGee. And he drops the ball. Simmons drops the ball. He's safe.
Up and into Tommy Herr. He hasn't shown much power. In fact, he's never hit a home run in the major leagues. Just by the 330 mark. Here he comes around third. Throw. Simmons lost it. It took a high bounce off the turf. And when he tried to leave too soon, I doubt where that throw was.
His second World Series start. And he gets Gantner, his first strikeout tonight. Flash of lightning and a ground ball to Herr. Smith back to Hernandez. Double play.
We've talked a lot about the qualities that a great shortstop like Smith has, but here's another one, fearlessness. He is listed in the spring training guide at 150. I imagine after the long season, he's probably down to 140, and he just went right at the runner coming at him. Made him get that.
No rain yet, but flashes of lightning, rolls of thunder off in the distance. And there's another mistake by the Brewer infield as Gantner can't pick up the ball. It appeared he might have taken a quick look. Runner goes. Simmons throw. Smith has stolen it.
Simmons did all he could do. Handled the ball well, got rid of it, maybe a little bit up. There's no way if that ball's right on the bag even that he's going to get him. The aggressiveness of the Cardinals is what got him here.
That head-first slide, so effective on that particular play, and now the first base.
Lonnie Smith, the third, 2 out.
The official word on Lonnie Smith, he jammed the ring finger on his left hand with that slide at second base.
Here he comes! And they get him! A daring play as Lonnie Smith attempts to steal home, and it took a perfect throw by Sutton to nail him. Oh, my.
Sutton sensed that. He might have been looking out of the corner of an eye after he looked him back. He didn't really rush his delivery to create a balk, but he threw the ball inside part of the plate where Simmons could just slap the tag and move that glove about 1.5 feet. Watch it. He sets up outside, and Sutton, sensing it, throws the ball inside, seeing him coming. Only a veteran pitcher could have done that.
It's a dangerous tag by Simmons with one hand, but coming in head first.
Oh,
and
he's
I
safe.
don't know.
He is safe. He looked to be in there.
He is safe.
So the Cardinals try to literally steal
Simmons back a little bit more. Watch this. If Hendrick swings right now with Simmons coming up, that's a catcher's ball. And they would have awarded the base runner Smith home. As it is, he may have made it anyway.
Years ago. Simmons drills it to right center, but Hendrick is there. And it's 1-2 plate.
Simmons really reacted late. It was Sutton who made the play.
Loop to center, and a base hit. Well, George.
And just went up a little bit, and he just unloaded a quick pitch is what he did.
He knew it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner at second. And a high drive, deep right. Porter will touch. No, it's off the top of the wall. No, it's not here. Home run. Home run.
Against Atlanta. 1 ball, 1 strike. Looks like it was inside part of the plate, about fell high. And the rocket in St. Louis.
Base hit. Moore into the corner. Ford is going to go for 3. Some extra base hits.
4th extra base hit in this ball game for the Cardinals. Herzog squeezed quite a bit during the course of the season. Coming.
Beautiful bunt. The run scores. And Herzog as Cooper makes the tag. The suicide squeeze executed perfectly. Behind first, tough play, fair ball, and Smith falls down, and Moore's got a shot at him. He goes back to first.
You know, it's interesting because some turned in, and here he is in the rundown as he slips around, and what happens is the toe from his right foot many times catches on the calf of his left foot, and he can't avoid it. It's a little bit of a slight disability growing up that he started to correct. And that's why he
pitch high and tight that moves him back. It simply says to the hitter, hey, you're taking all the plate, and half of it is mine, and I want my half back. And then there are pitchers like Bob Gibson who say, I'm not
a player go full 9 anyway. It's an official game. High drive, deep right field. Hernandez will touch them all. Bustle up tonight, and here it comes hard. It is really raining now. As Harvey Keene goes to the mound, Hernandez lights up the scoreboard. It's 7-0 St. Louis.
No curfew. Will we play ball, if necessary, at 2:30, 3:30 in the morning?
Without any... It looked like he was more loose. He was more relaxed, and the ball was moving more.
Line to Smith.
Commissioner Kuhn, and now the question everybody asks. The same rules technically apply as during regular season, but not the same philosophy, I would guess.
Well, Bob, you go back and look at the history of the World Series, except for a couple of tied games, every game has been played to a 9-inning or more decision. And you'd have to anticipate that's what we're looking to do here.
Who showed his intelligence when he changed his style of play for the Brewers, playing very deeply. In game number 1, where a lot of hits were beaten out, he has adjusted, come back in. His anticipation is tremendous.
That ball was hit viciously, and Smith with it. 2-1. Hit to left field, and well. Off the wall. And Orch has his third straight extra base hit in this game.
That ball had the craziest action I've seen from directly behind home plate. It looked
and grounded to short, so he's hit it twice at Robin Young. Change through the right side, and the Cardinals have another run. There he goes. Popped up into shallow left.
Another slow jump.
Ogilvie can't get there.
He is having trouble seeing the ball because he stayed stationary in that little looper and couldn't get another thing that helped the Cardinals. And got...
Long night on that Brewer bench.
Look out.
Behind Ozzie Smith, and the runners move up on the second wild pitch of the inning.
This one even more so than the one that almost hit McGee.
Simmons obviously has that deciding game tomorrow. Who will it be that gets that big blow or makes the big defensive play?
Evening came early when Hall of Famer Luke Appling, the oldest player in the game, led off for the American League.
Deep to left field, way back there, home run, Luke Appling, 75 years old.
I told you when you were talking about him at the start.
Appling got a 1980 style salute, a high five. You know, someday when Luke gets old, he's going to think about that home run and smile.
Another base hit and another run.
Whoa, look out.
And on the high throw, Hendrick moves to second. 11-0.
Gets called back in the strike zone, hits it to right field. Look at the water squishing off the ball, and when Charlie Moore lets it go, it takes off almost over the head of Molitor, which allows Hendrick an old-fashioned shellacking like
this shutout defeat ever. Porter hits it hard, and it gets through Gantner. 2 runs will score. It's 13-0.
Speed and just eats Jimmy Gantner up. Wow, he tried to get down, got down too.
Of the Yankees, Brock of the Cardinals. That was in a 7-game series. That could be the 6-game record. Ozzie Smith denies him. Ozzie Smith charging that high hopper.
That's one thing, he gets such a quick jump. Fields with 2 hands because he knew he would not on this particular play have a chance to field in the glove hand, transfer the ball. Robin Yount runs well. That's one thing that Whitey Herzog says he does as well as anybody he's ever seen at shortstop. Be able to play as deeply as he does, and rarely do you beat a ball on him. A killer. It isn't great like a Burleson or but he is so quick.
Ted Simmons, and Stuper will try to play that one himself, and does. John Stuper, 25-year-old.
Is taking a little bit of the edge off, and the ball is sinking more.
He's had 2 double plays, hit well to center field. McGee going back. He's there.
He just outruns baseball, that guy. Ball is slicing away, and when you look up, he's on the move.
John Stuper. Right at the third baseman, Oberkfell. He's got it. Bad throw. Nice play. Save. Nice play by Hernandez as he...
During the regular season, 3 wins, 1 loss. He had 6 saves, so he did make a contribution during the part of the season.
Line foul. Last base hit was in the 3rd inning. Ground ball to Young. Really scooted off that AstroTurf or artificial surface, and he's safe as he pulls Cooper off the bag, and I think that ball being wet, Joe. Well hit to right field. Charlie Moore is going back near the wall. He makes the catch at the warning track. So Hernandez hit the ball hard.
We got a chance to see the big part of the ball.
The new catcher is Brummer. Molitor doesn't get him to strike 2. Glenn Brummer, there you see him.
There's somebody else in the Brewer organization missing this trip anyway.
Lottie and Martin. Martin, the left-hander. 1 man out. This could be it. Listen to the roar. And by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by Sharp Electronics Corporation. From sharp minds come sharp products. Again, the final score, St. Louis 13, Milwaukee 1. Now remember, Wednesday, NBC Sports continues its coverage of the 79th World Series. Join Tony, Dick, myself, the rest of the NBC Sports team for Game 7 starting 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Saturday, NBC Sports World. Sugar Ray Seals tangles with James Schuler in a scheduled 12-round NABF middleweight championship fight. Now, stay tuned for the late night show.
In Game 6, the Cardinals showed Sutton every which way. Not even Charlie Moore's awesome throw from right field could help his pitcher. Food for quibbling on this day. Darrell Porter connected and the route was on. The pitching was strong. And the defense, led by Ozzie Smith, dazzled. When it rains, it pours. It rained, but despite 2 delays, the Cards kept pouring it on. Dane Orge struck 3 extra base hits, a World Series record for designated hitters. And the Redbirds stacked up 13 runs. A long, dismal night for Milwaukee, kept in a stupor by 25. Tonight, the stage is set in St. Louis for the drama of the 7th game between the Cardinals and Milwaukee Brewers, playing for the championship of the 1982 World Series. Stadium, St. Louis. It's cold, 40 degrees for the championship game. The Cardinals and the Brewers, and to share the excitement.
The late season report said Bob Forsch was sharp, Mike Caldwell struggling, but the Brewers jumped all over Forsch. Simmons a home run, Molitor 5 hits, Yount 4 more. Meanwhile, Caldwell spins a masterful 3-hitter, 10-0 Milwaukee. Looked like they'd go up 2-0 in the next game. They had an early 3-run lead, but the book on Darrell Porter says he always pulls the ball. Look at the overshift. In the midst of this crucial Cardinal rally, though, Porter goes the opposite way against Don Sutton. It's a 2-run double to left field. That ties the ball game and then sets the stage for another critical moment. With Raleigh fingers unavailable, Pete Ladd, who had been very effective in the American League Championship Series, has to pitch in relief. He walks Lonnie Smith and then pinch hitter Steve Braun back-to-back. In comes George Hendrick with what proves to be the winning run. The series is tied. Now to Milwaukee for Game 3. Willie McGee is a speedster. He's not a home run hitter, right? Don't tell that to Pete Vukovich. 2 home runs by McGee off Vukovich. McGee was known as a good defensive center fielder, and that held true in the ninth as he robbed Gorman Thomas of a home run. But perhaps the full impact of Game 3's most important play wasn't felt until Game 4. The Ted Simmons smash off the leg of Joaquin Andujar knocks him out of the box, forces Bruce Sutter to pitch 2 1/3 innings of relief, and leaves him unavailable on Saturday afternoon. As if the Cardinals wouldn't need it. Defensive plays like this one by Ozzie Smith were helping Dave LaPointe along. Look at the Wizard of Oz turn a base hit bid into a double play. And the Cardinals were playing classic Whitey ball. Tommy Herr's long drive to center field is no mere sacrifice fly. It's a 2-run sacrifice fly. McGee will score from third, and Ozzie Smith is following him all the way around from second base. But now comes the 7th inning, and Ben Oglivie sends a seemingly harmless grounder toward Keith Hernandez. Keith a nice play on what turns out to be a bad hop. LaPointe over to cover, and he'll drop it. That opens the gates for 6 unearned runs. Bear tried, Cott tried, Lottie tried, Suter watched. The Cardinals lost at 7-5. McClure, a relief hero for the Brewers. Game 5, Forsch against Caldwell again. Forsch once more can't handle the Brewers. And while Caldwell isn't anywhere near as sharp as he was in Game 1, his defense keeps bailing him out. This was the most important play of all. Cecil Cooper diving to his right to rob Darrell Porter and end the 7th inning Cardinal rally. All the glowing reports were dead right about this man, though. A second 4-hit game for robbing Yount. This opposite field home run is part of it. Back to St. Louis, and amidst the raindrops, it's the Redbirds who turn into wall bangers. 3 extra base hits for Dane Orge, homers for Porter and Hernandez, and another big surprise. Rookie John Stuper, a 4-hitter to outpitch the great veteran Don Sutton. 13-1 St. Louis, series tied at 3. Which brings us to Game 7. Joaquin Andujar against Pete Vukovich. But what if either should falter? Dick Enberg and I will talk to the managers about their plans when we return to Busch Stadium in St. Louis.
There were many who didn't think Andujar would start. Hit on the below the right kneecap. There is the postseason record of Andujar. 2-0. 13 innings pitched. In game 3, he worked 6 in the 3rd innings, allowed 3 hits, no runs, 1 walk, struck out 3. St. Louis won that game 6-2. It was in Milwaukee. It was a hot shot, 1 hopper off the bat.
Fork ball on occasion. And when he throws his last warm-up pitch before the throw by Porter down to second base, he lets it all out. In fact, he says Juan Marichal, one of his countrymen, and I think should be a Hall of Famer, told him to do it to get himself psyched up. Hub Kittle said also every time a pitcher throws, and this is his theory, throws a pitch to home plate, if you throw it hard enough, the blood will rush into your hand. He says that's when a pitcher knows he's ready. And that's just another theory. So we'll maybe have you take a look at Joaquin Andujar, what he does.
Beat this one where he really lets it all hang out. Yeah, he's kind of revving up the engine. Let's see if he does it. Meditation. Sight.
Here he goes.
Here he comes.
There he goes. He is a showman.
I tell you, we may need a big mustard jar before this day's over with all the hot dogs we've seen so far. Pitch of Game 7 coming up. High fly ball, right field. 1 out.
And Molitor's bat broke right up in his hands. He had about 4 inches going down.
Determined Andujar. Oberkfell. Deep at third, long throw. It is low. He gets him. Nice play by Hernandez at first base. 1-2-3 for Milwaukee. Top of the first. What you do with the baseball. High hopper. It'll be a tough, close play. Base hit.
Honest.
Here is Dane Orge, 7 for 14. Up the middle. Knocked down by Gantner. The throw is not in time. Here's the 1-1 pitch. High hopper up the middle. Robin Yount coming over. Can't make a play. Bases are loaded. Another infield hit.
So we've seen a couple of artificial surface hits in this ball game already. There's another one. Yount comes across.
And you just, for Milwaukee fans, worried someone will really get a hold of one.
High fly ball, right field. Vukovic should be out of it. Moore makes the catch. So he gives you a thrill. But the bottom of the second ends. The Cardinals do not score. We complete 2 innings of baseball.
3-2.
We saw proof of whether or not Andujar's leg is well. He got over there in a hurry with no trace of a limp.
But he
really got off the mound.
He stopped as soon as he caught the ball, and you can bet that's what Hernandez.
Watch him get over you. Good sinker ball that Howell jams into the dirt. Look at Andujar. Not one trace of a limp. He got a little bit off stride, hit the side.
Base hit to left field. Hernandez will hold at second base. Coming up in this inning. High drive to right. Charlie Moore is back to make the catch. Both runners tag. Here's the throw. And Hendrick also advances into second as Hernandez goes to third as Porter flirted with a 3-run homer. To Cooper, and Vukovic wiggles off the hook in the third. No runs, a hit.
Mitch, a breaking ball pitcher. Andujar, a fastball pitcher. Might get a half a dozen, maybe, who throw this hard in the American League.
Base hit to right field. Yount's going to third. Hendrick's throw. He got him.
Just an outstanding George Hendricks, underrated, unspoken, charges the ball. Almost grabbed it by four seams. Ozzie Smith with the decoy. I'm surprised they didn't argue a little bit more. I don't know if the third baseman Oberkfell blocked him off. He just crushed him right in the side of the head with his right knee. Kept him off the bag when the ball came across Robin's body. Out.
George Hendrick, the silent man for the Cardinals with the press, but certainly not in the clubhouse, where he's perhaps the most popular player in this ball club. McGee has a base hit. And for the fourth, no one out. McGee at first base with his lead. Hit to right field. Moore has to play it on a hop. McGee on to third. Molitor can't get it. Yount will have to eat it. The run scores. 1-0 St. Louis.
Well, so many rabbits out of the hat as Vukovich is down. Look at where Molitor is playing. A tribute to the speed of Smith in case he should drop a bunt. As soon as he does that, the ball gets fired. No chance for double play. Had he been able to play two strides deep.
Got him with a changeup, and for Vukovich, it's a tight wire rack. One run is allowed, and the Cardinals take the early.
And the explosion from these Brewers bats that people have talked about and we've seen so much of. Look out.
That one's hit well, deep to right. If it's fair, it's gone, and we have a tie game. Live in Milwaukee, you can bet that brought them right out of their seats as Ben Ogilvie has his first home run of the series, and we have a new game at 1. As Andujar faces Gorman Thomas, and he hits it high, just missed it. It's deep to left. Smith, oh, that wind playing tricks with it. That had some hearts in some throats here at Busch Stadium.
They haven't had a whole lot of good swings at Joaquin Andujar. They've been behind him, but they seem to be catching up. This pitch is a slider that is about belt high inside. Did not get down like Andujar usually likes to throw it. When he gets that downward action along with the inward action, time can change.
Hitting .500, 8 for 16. This could be another one.
Bag.
Hits the bag and goes into center field. And his 9th hit of the series.
And the umpiring crew out of the American League.
Be a good choice. He's been one of the best for a long time.
True.
Drilled into right center field. That could go all the way to the wall, and does. Gantner looking at a possible triple, but settles for 2. And the Brewers have the leadoff man on to open the 6th inning. Pen. Good-looking bunt. Andujar. He's safe. The raw ball gets away. The run scores. Molitor will hold at second base.
The Cardinals try to play having confidence that Andujar would be able to cover. Fielder would cover it from the first baseline to the pitcher's mound. So they had just 2 charging. Andujar, that is a ball that Oberkfell did not come in on time. Andujar steals it away from off balance, and there it goes. E1.
Yeah,
look at how far he is. Oberkfell trying to hold third. Glances up and Yount the batter. High chopper, that'll get the job done. No one covering first base, and Yount is safe. How many total bases, not trying for a base hit. Look at how he just hits inside out, chops the... Going. Yount goes, hit to deep left. Back goes Smith. Molitor tagging. He'll score. Yount played it halfway, now returns to first base. It's 3-1 Brewers. So Harvey Keene. 2-1. Sacrifice fly by Cooper. Got the other run in. Hernandez, one there, and not in time at first base. Simmons, not a good runner, just does outleg the relay. We're seeing to excel at getting the lead runner. Watch him. He's not even thinking stepping on first. He wants to get the lead man, get the speedy man off the base, and the acrobat, Ozzie Smith, gets the throw off.
You're also seeing two aggressive plays. I mean, neither one satisfied with just the easy way.
Up the middle. Great stop by her, and he gets the out.
Well, the rally stoppers for both teams, but primarily for the Cardinals. Ozzie Smith and her do it again. There it is.
And it's a base hit to left. Ogilvie cutting it off at the line, and Smith will hold with a long single.
Little piece of play set. He was trying to slap the ball that way. He gets a line drive. He sends the double.
9 hits for the Cardinals, all singles.
He's aiming that way to get it by Molitor.
Ogilvie guarding the line. Tying run is at the plate. Lonnie Smith. Ripped fair. So the Smith brothers, Ozzie and Lonnie, are in scoring position.
That's twice in this ball game that Lonnie Smith, with his speed, Molitor having to come in, he chopped one to the left of trouble once again. I admire a guy like Vukovic, who keeps getting in trouble and is able, to this point, to be able to pitch out of it somehow.
One of those guys looks around, sees a couple of men on base, and turns to the plate and says, I got you right where I want you.
Yeah. For how long?
I tell you, it's been the old story. It's almost like he looks around and figures he's pitching with 2 infields, and now look at him to show his coolness. He's just changing shoes.
He has always got something going. He's one of the pitchers who wears 2 different shoes from 2 different companies. He may have the same company shoes on this time, but all these little psychological ploys that just kind of stop the action of the game and make himself the center of attention. Look at him. He is something.
Here comes Harvey Keene, but here's a guy, 53,000 people in the ballpark, millions watching, and he comes up with a bad shoemaker.
Got dirt in both shoes. How do you do that?
Looking for his lucky quarter. Harvey Keene coming out to talk with Vukovic. We may see a pitching change.
He will come up with something almost every game you see him pitch, Pete Vukovic. Anything for the little bit of an edge.
Left-handed hitter Oberkfell is the man up. With Ozzie at third, the tying run Lonnie at second, and McClure will come in to pitch to Oberkfell. Three balls and a strike. And he misses inside. The bases are loaded. Walk and a strikeout facing Vukovic. Ramsey now carrying the potential go-ahead run. 1 out. Force at every base. The thrower infield looking for the double play. And Hernandez. Ball 1-0. Big curveball. 1-1. Pinch runner. 1 out. Outside, it's 2-1. Ball 3. A strike, or he throws a run. Hit to right center. Base hit. The game is tied.
But also a very emotional one. 2 former high school teammates, McClure and Hernandez, facing each other. 2 RBIs by Hernandez.
All on his birthday. Ramsey making it to third, Hernandez at first. at the plate. Foul ball. Foul ball, no play. So that's a break for the Cardinals.
One game with McGee at the bat from the right side. A double play turned by Gantner.
Watch this play at the plate when Ramsey comes in head first, which is a big mistake because he's going up against Simmons, and there's no way he's going to get to the plate, and he's going to get a shin guard sandwich in the process. That's very dangerous. Catchers love to see those guys come in head first. Hi there.
Infield back. Line into right field. Ramsey scores. It's 4-3 St. Louis. Runners go. It's hit deep, but hooking foul.
He has Brummer and Gonzalez left if you've got a Suter in the bullpen.
Broken bat. Gantner takes care of Braun. The inning over. But St. Louis cheers a 3-run sixth. 3-run
call in Game 5 when the Cardinals threw a bunch of hits on the board. They stranded 12 in that game. Suter, the big guy's going down. Andujar with a much quicker pace over the first 3 innings. And over the last couple, he has slowed down just a little bit. Show you his motion on the 3-2 pitch. 2-1, he went breaking ball. He went breaking ball 3-2. He was side. I don't think his arm is bothering him, but he looked a little bit uncomfortable after he released that ball.
Gets him.
Might have been the fork ball.
Got 2, but Cardinals came back to score 3. Fly to left field and hit well. Lonnie Smith makes the catch.
Slicing back off the bat of the left-hander and with a little bit of the wind currents. What a fantastic recovery he made, going headfirst into the wall.
He did one thing right, and that's the only thing that counts, and that is catch the ball. He broke wrong, he turned wrong, he staggered, but he stayed with it.
Suter just now throwing his second warm-up pitch.
Herzog's got that man figured out. And for some reason, the magic number 39 pitches keeps coming up with Herzog. He says, for some reason, around 39, I got to start watching him when he gets in the ball game. I don't know why that is.
Grounded toward the hole. That's going to be a base hit for Charlie Moore. Ozzie Smith wisely right center, leading off the 6th inning that got the Brewers going in a 2-run inning. Andujar on the comebacker. The inning is over.
Around the line. They both took it. They want to start a fight. Andujar is being held back by Lee Wire as Gantner challenged them, and they almost went to blows. Andujar threw his glove away. Lee Wire very alertly comes out and corrals Andujar to prevent a battle in game number 7. Gantner said something to him, Dick. He challenged them, probably called him a hot dog, very honest, or worse. And Lee Wire, with a great job, stopped. There's Hub Kettle. Here it is. I would bet that Gantner's words were, "You hot dog," because Andujar's a habit. When he retires a hitter, he'll shoot him down with his fingers and then blow the smoke away. Lanier there, but Lee Wire very alert.
Hub Kittle.
Right in the middle of it, Hub Kittle. Joaquin Andujar actually calls Hub Kittle daddy. Kittle had him in the Dominican Republic. Hub Kittle saying, let him alone, back off. Inadvertently pushes Lee Wire.
So at the end of 7, it's 4-3 Cardinals leading Milwaukee. Cooper, top of the 8th inning, Cardinals 4, Milwaukee. Ozzie Smith. 1 out.
Out in his 9-year career has become a very disciplined hitter. And look at what he goes after off Suter to show you how much.
It called Andujar a hot dog, and that started it. Bouncing ball. 3 outs. Valuable player that has to be chosen, and we are debating that right now. Lonnie Smith, right field. Charlie Moore near the line. He cannot get it. 2-base hit. It bounced out of the ballpark. They have to get him over to third base and try to pick it up with the sacrifice fly. This crowd is really reacting.
Leading will be back after these messages. Here comes Caldwell. Mike Caldwell is the new pitcher here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 2 men out. Base runners are at first and second. Lonnie Smith at second, and Hernandez is up. Line drive, right field, base hit. Here comes Smith. The throw to the plate. It is not in time.
Two-strike pitch. Line drive, center field, base hit. Hernandez scores 6-3. Bouncing ball to Gantner. Should end the inning. It does. So the Cardinals scored 2. And as we complete 8 innings, the score here. Second out. It is. Gorman Thomas, the fans will tell you. by the score of 6-3 here in the 7th game. Ozzie Smith, Mike Ramsey, Gene Gieselman.
Cardinal fans, for their rich baseball tradition, they've won more World Series than any National League team. This makes it 9. And how they're celebrating.
Can you handle that on your own? You sure? I'll find out. Butch Yatkaman, who will retire after this season. You just saw him being lifted. There you see Butch with Keith Hernandez and Tony Kubek in the Cardinal clubhouse. Joe McDonald, the general manager, just being hugged by Hernandez. The Cardinals, the world champions. There you see Gussie Busch, the owner. Bowie Kuhn with the winner's trophy in the Cardinal clubhouse along with Bob Costas. And here on the field, it is just bedlam. Notwithstanding the canine corps, the mounted police, these Cardinal fans have just simply joined in the celebration. And Darrell Porter has been voted the most valuable player in this World Series. We'll be back with the clubhouse outside from the top with the blimp giving us a shot of what's happening in St. Louis. There's the field. They are celebrating. It looks like 53,000
are here. Commissioner Bowie Kuhn, August Busch Jr., the owner of the Cardinals, Whitey Herzog. Behind me, Darrell Porter, along with the general manager, Joe McDonald. Porter, of course, voted the most valuable player of the series, and for the presentation of the championship trophy, Commissioner Kuhn.
Gussie, to you, Whitey, to you, Darrell, to you and all your teammates, Joe, to you as general manager, the trophy that says you're champions of the world, and you deserve it.
Thank you, boy. Thank you very much, my friend. That's marvelous.
Whitey?
Well, I just don't know what to say. It's just hit me kind of quick here, and we're very happy about it, and just so we could bring a world championship to St. Louis, and for the greatest guy in the world, Mr. Busch.
You got it down to a situation where it was a one-run game, and Bruce Sutter came in. If you had a master plan a couple of years ago, you couldn't have asked for more than that.
Well, Joaquin did a great job. He hadn't been able to run in 5 days. He went out and gave us 7 good innings, and I wanted to get to Bruce Sutter in the 8th and 9th, and because he went out there with a lot of guts, so we were able to do it.
It wasn't supposed to go this way, Whitey, on form, but you had to come from behind to win a couple of games.
Well, we did, and our ball club never quit all year. We came out last night smoking with a rookie pitching. He did a great job. And tonight, they jumped out 3-1 on us, and we came right back and got some runs. But it's a credit to the whole ball club.
Congratulations, Whitey.
Thank you, Bobby.
Darrell Porter, the most valuable player of this World Series. Darrell, congratulations on being named MVP after a tough regular season. You really broke loose in the playoffs and World Series.
Well, I did okay. It was fun. I'll tell you, it was the most fun I've had playing baseball in my whole career. No question about it. It's a great feeling.
Was it even fun in the 7th game, trailing 3-1, or was the tension a bit much then?
No, it was pretty much fun right there, too. I'll tell you, it was just exciting. I mean, it's the way the series is win, and I didn't like the situation right there, but we got some people that can play this game, and you know, we weren't afraid anyway. We felt like we had a good chance to come back. We had 4 innings left.
Congratulations on being named MVP.
Thanks. That's just so wonderful. I can't believe it.
We're coming back down to this happy Cardinal clubhouse in a few moments, but thanks again, Joe. We're standing with the Wizard of Oz, Ozzie Smith, and just a year removed from San Diego. The champagne's on your head and the championship trophy's on the table.
I tell you, Bob, it's been an exciting year, you know, ever since the trade and coming over here and getting an opportunity to play with this group of guys that we have here, which is very special. But before I go any further, you know, I think as a ball club, I think we have to tip our caps to the Milwaukee Brewers who presented, I think, everybody, you know, our club included. We showed the world, you know, that the contrast in ball clubs has no bearing on who is the better team. I think when you get to this situation with the ball clubs that the 2 ball clubs that were in it.
You're at shortstop and on the World Championship.
Thank you.
Okay. Keith Hernandez. Come on in here, Keith. The big base hit against a guy who is awfully tough on left-handed batters. Bob McClure can be wicked. You worked the count to 3-1, and then what happened?
Well, he made a good pitch on me. It was a 3-1 fastball in the inside corner, and I was looking just to protect the plate. And he put the pitch where he wanted to, and I don't know how I hit it, but I'm glad I did. But when I'm hitting good, I don't know how I hit the ball, so that's why I know I'm hitting good. So it's just a great feeling.
Isn't this game amazing? You can go 0 for 15, and then all of a sudden they can hardly get you out.
Well, you know, you just got to have the strong mind, perseverance, and my teammates really helped me out. They were patting me on the back, and when I got the first hit, we lost the game in Milwaukee, and I went 3 for 4. All my teammates came up to me and patted me on the back, and it just made me feel real great, and that's the whole way this club's been. It's been a team effort.
Congratulations, Keith.
Thank you very much.
Bruce Sutter is here. So is Ken Oberkfell. Joaquin Andujar, let's go to you first. Joaquin, did the leg give you any trouble at all tonight?
Well, my knee bothered me a little bit, you know, but I told my teammate that I'm never going to turn my back to my team, you know. And I told my teammate that I'm going to be anybody tonight. Excuse me 1 second, please. Quiero saludar a todo dominicano y para mí es un orgullo representar a la República Dominicana como el señor Jorge Blanco, Magluta y toda mi familia. Muchísimas gracias a todos.
A message to the folks in the Dominican.
Yeah, I give a message to the President of Dominica, my family in Dominican Republic, all my friends in there.
Let me ask you what happened between you and Jim Gantner at the end of the 7th inning.
Well, you know, he said something to me that I can send the microphone, you know. He said some bad words to me, you know.
Awfully wise of you to refrain.
Yeah, that's why I get mad, you know.
Congratulations on coming through with a fine performance in Game 7 when the chips were on the table.
Thank you very much, and thank you to NBC and all San Luis fans and my people in Dominican Republic.
Joaquin Andujar. We spoke with Ozzie Smith. Here's the other half of the left side of the Cardinal infield, Ken Oberkfell. Ken, you had a good series with the bat.
Oh, I felt good at the plate, and it just seemed like everything fell into place for myself and the club, and we started hitting there at the end, and it's just a great feeling.
Congratulations on a world title.
Thank you, Bob.
Okay. Bruce Sutter. Bruce, the tailor-made situation for you. This is what they had in mind when they picked you up a couple of years ago, 7th game, and you in there with a slim lead.
Well, I was hoping it was going to be me. This year, when we clinched the pennant, I was out there, and the same with the playoffs. So, you know, that's my job. We get a lead like that, you know, hopefully I can come in and hold them.
You had a couple of outings in Milwaukee that were less than classic Bruce Sutter, but you shake that stuff off.
Well, you know, Milwaukee Brewers are a great hitting ball club. You make a few bad pitches there, and they're going to hurt you in a hurry. So, you know, I'm just happy we held on and we won the World Series. But, you know, congratulations got to go to them, too. They're a great ball club. They never gave up. They kept battling.
Speaking of the Milwaukee Brewers, let's go.
You can do magic. You can have anything that you desire. Magic. And you know you're the one who can put out the fire. You know darn well when you cast your spell, you get your way. When you hypnotize with your eyes, a heart of stone can turn to clay.
To the great thing called television. The coordinating producer of the 1982 World Series is Michael Weissman. Produced by George Finkel. Directed by Harry Coyle. Our pregame produced and directed by John Gonzalez. Technical director Lenny Stucker. Replay director was Andy Rosenberg. Associate directors David Hoffman, John Libretto, and Joe Michaels. Associate producer Glenn Adamo. And our pregame associate producer was Antoinette Macchiaverna. And there are many, many people, and you will see them as they come across your screen. And the backdrop, of course, the 1982 World Series. And Dick, it's been a pleasure working with you and Tom Seaver and Bob Costas. But it has been an exciting, well, just a whole season.
Joe, it was a joy for me, and there'll be some lasting impressions from this 82 series. Lonnie Smith stretching for his steal of home. Ozzie Smith's fastidious play at shortstop. Mike Caldwell's hat and Harvey Keene's constant chew, and Robin Yount's cool, Bruce Sutter's calm, Andujar's anguish. The fans of Milwaukee proving by support the love for the Brewers and for that brew itself. And ironically, Augie Busch, the owner of the Cardinals, receiving the trophy, the championship trophy, from a man that he has been openly outspoken against. Not rehiring the commissioner. Will it be Bowie Kuhn's last baseball game as commissioner of baseball? And, of course, the ultimate joy, that Cardinal clubhouse, recognizing that they are the best in baseball.
And when you stop to think about it, as you look back at this World Series, both ball clubs pretty much played the brand of ball that got them here. And the thing that I'm happiest about is that no one player or no umpire had that one play that stays with them throughout their career. Too many times. I know going back to the 1946 World Series, I've always felt that Johnny Pesky has carried a load on his shoulders that's just been so unfair. Mickey Owen had dropped third strike, unfair, because great careers, and that's all some people remember about them. But this World Series, you saw some guys break loose that you didn't think were really that good unless you saw them. And I'm thinking about guys like Jim Gantner, Charlie Moore, Robin Yount, certainly most valuable player. On this Cardinal ball club, Ozzie Smith showed everybody why they call him the Wizard of Oz. And Dane Orge, who came on as a designated hitter and looked like he was born to hit, Dick.
Now the Cardinals add to their litany of champions. It goes back to the days of Grover Cleveland and Roger Hornsby, and then the Gas House Gang of the Dean Boys and DeRocher and Medwick, and then Slaughter and Musial and those great teams of the 40s and 50s, and the 60s champions, the Gibsons and the Brocks, and now the new name. Cardinals, for the first time since '68, are the Major League champions.
And a lot of thoughts as you watch the World Series, and a lot of news, because Billy Martin was fired as the manager of the Oakland A's, and will Commissioner Bowie Kuhn. Will he survive that election? November's a big month for elections. Mike Caldwell, there you see him in the backdrop, and I had a smile when you talked about his hat and Pete Vukovich. A ball club that a lot of people thought could just swing the bat, but these Milwaukee Brewers show they could play. Tom?
The one thing that I think about when I look at this World Series is I look at the bottom line of the number of unearned runs, which is really unusual. 13 unearned runs in the World Series, and you would expect really better defensive play. 18 errors in the World Series, and from people that you wouldn't expect them from, like Golden Glover Hernandez in the first couple of games and Robin Yount. I think those are a couple of the unusual things that would have happened in this World Series.
So we thank you, Tom Seaver. We thank you, Dick Enberg, Tony Kubek, Bob Costas, the entire crew as we watch the great catch, the great slides. Don't forget, this coming Saturday, it's Sports World with a scheduled 12-round NABF Middleweight Championship. And then there's the Peking Invitational Gymnastics plus an NFL 82 report. That's all Saturday on NBC Sports World. Now stay tuned for the Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson with guest host Bill Cosby. Following your local news, except for the West Coast and most mountain time stations where it'll be seen at its regular time right here on NBC. The final score once again, St. Louis 6, Milwaukee 3 in the 7th game. The Cardinals are the world champions. The fireworks, the celebrations are going off. The Cardinals are celebrating, the entire state of Missouri.
A little bit objective, I suppose, and not get too emotional, but I have to admit I got a lump in my throat tonight seeing those players that you know so well, that you've traveled with, that you've interviewed so many times, do what they did tonight. The Cardinals ended 15 years of frustration tonight, 15 years of mostly bad baseball, 15 years of unkept promises, 15 years of losing that cost 3 managers and 2 general managers their job. But tonight they stepped on top of the mountain. Tonight they became champions of the baseball world for the 9th time in their long and glorious history. We'll show you the highlights of this historic evening in just a few minutes, but first we're going to go back to the Cardinal locker room live and Jay Randolph. Jay?
On a cool night in St. Louis, the Redbirds won the World Series in 7 games. It's a warm, wonderful time here in the locker room. Jay Randolph first with Whitey Herzog, then we're going to talk it over with Ozzie Smith. Whitey, certainly as you and I talked tonight at 6 o'clock, this was a magical night if you won, and you did win. And I wonder what you feel down in the depths of that baseball body and mind of yours right now.
Well, you know, Jay, it's funny. I really felt we were going to win, and I'm really not too excited about it. I just felt I was with my ball team all year. I just knew the gut feeling they had, and how they went out there last night and really played good, and I just felt we'd play good tonight. And Joaquin did a super job. He hadn't been able to run or anything for 5 days. He went out there and gave us 7 good innings and enabled us to get the Suter. We came back from 3-1. Ozzie led off with a base hit down the line. Lonnie Smith got the double. And George Henry got a big hit. He hit a 2-strike pitch, really rifled in the right field. It put us out in front. Then, of course, we got 2 runs in the last of the 8th. But I had so much confidence in this ball club all year, the way we come back, and we were always prepared to play. There wasn't one day all year that I can say that the guys didn't go out there and play hard. And I knew if we were good enough, we'd win.
Whitey, few men in baseball history have turned...
In the 7th inning, the Suter was in there. And I just wanted Bruce to know because Hub was taking care of Joaquin. And we got the greatest relief pitcher in the world in Bruce Suter. We got a 1-run lead. I need 6 outs. I got to put him out there. And I'll tell you why. Because if he loses, I'm not going to get second guessed.
All right. We're gonna talk to Bruce in a minute. But first of all, I want to visit with the man who has been well, I like to call him the cohesive glue that brought us a World Series championship. Ozzie Smith, my sincere congratulations to you.
Thank you, Jay. I couldn't be happier with the way that things worked out for not only me, but for the whole organization.
You know, I heard somebody behind us whispering, well, those rumors about you going somewhere else. I don't believe those rumors, and I know because you've told me face to face that you're very happy here, and now this is the culmination for you.
This is it. This is what I've always dreamed about experiencing, and I was able to achieve something tonight that I'd only been able to dream about. I'm very happy here in St. Louis, and I hope to spend many years here.
Well, you're a wonderful gentleman. I know it's a happy time for you. Your family, the Cardinals, your personal family, a lovely, lovely family, and I'm just wetter than heck, but that's all right. Thank you for a great season, the Wizard of Oz.
Thank you, Jay.
All right. And we got Bruce Suter right here. Here is the man who got the call tonight, shut them down. He did it time and time again. A lady called me the other day and says, you mispronounce Lancaster, Pennsylvania all the time. Lancaster. And I think she was Lancaster. I think she was a good Amish lady.
That's right.
Congratulations to you. It's a big night.
God, it's great, isn't it? Wish we get some of these reporters out here so the players, we can party.
Well, they'll be going eventually, I'm sure, but they've got their job to do, of course. But, Bruce, tonight I watched down the right field side in the booth down there as you warmed up, and you look just as sharp as you did when I watched you in Game 2 here.
Well, I felt good. I like pitching here in Busch Stadium. And, I like when the fans are behind me, and, my arm feels good. I just had a lot of confidence tonight. I wanted to be the one out there to save it and not the one to lose it.
Well, and, of course, you're in a tough situation. You always are in there when it is do or die, and more often than not, you did it in 1982, and what a great September and October you had, which really was the key, and that had been a problem for you in the past years.
Well, it's been a problem. When I was with Chicago, we were way out of the races, and then last year was really my first pennant stretch, and, I didn't pitch well. But this year, I wanted to go out and I wanted to prove to myself, I wanted to prove to my family, I wanted to prove to the fans of St. Louis that I could do it, and I did that.
Bruce, super, 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 super.
Thank you,
Thank you very much.
I think we impress ourselves and other teams maybe with the way we do things fundamentally, great defense, and of course we got the big guy in the bullpen, and he's been out there all 3 times when we've put things away, and you can't think of a better man to have out there.
I think it's special because we all believe in each other. We try to play as a team. We all communicate with each other, and we got a man who's in charge of us that just lets us go loose and doesn't complain one bit.
The attitude of this club was great all year, and everybody really got along. There wasn't no animosity between anybody, and we just went out there and pulled together and never gave up.
25 guys that are going to sacrifice for 25 guys. And that's, to me, is what turned this club around. I think Whitey had a lot to do with that.
We had a lot of people that contributed all year long, not just 25 people. And that is what is complete satisfaction.
If we can stay close, we know that our bullpen and our pitching staff will hold us close. And if we do that, we'll come back and score runs.
Darryl, are you the new Mr. October?
No, sir. I can't believe that I was named MVP, to tell you the truth.
The truth is, Darryl Porter, who struggled much of the past 2 seasons, has turned the boos to cheers. He was named Most Valuable Player in the National League Championship Series after hitting over 500. And Porter continued his outstanding play in the World Series. In Game 2, Porter's two-run double in the 6th inning was a key hit in a 5-4 Cardinal win. In Game 6, Porter contributed a two-run homer in a 13-1 Redbird victory. And in the decisive 7th game, Porter knocked in his 5th RBI of the series for an insurance run in a 6-3 St. Louis win.
I'm proud that I won it, but like I say, I don't think that I dominated out there, but I just don't think that any one player dominated in the thing. So I just feel that I'm lucky that they picked me. That's all.
Darrell Porter was thrust into the media spotlight 2 years ago. He was one of the first professional athletes to publicly admit an alcohol and drug problem. Then, in December of 1980, in a much criticized deal, Porter joined the Cardinals as a multi-million-dollar free agent. Porter wound up replacing high-powered hitter Ted Simmons, a popular St. Louis player. Porter's batting average remained in the low 200s most of the past 2 seasons. The fans booed, and the pressure started to build.
Every time I would try a little harder, and I think I put a little bit more pressure on myself each time, and it just things got worse, and really never did get better. But as far as the Ted Simmons things, I think that wasn't the hard thing. But the hard thing was the fact that I just wasn't able to do anything. I just didn't perform well, and I think I just wanted to show these people that I'm not a bad ball player. That was all.
But Porter managed to keep his sense of humor through good times and bad.
Every time I got a hit, a few of them would quit booing.
In a more serious moment, Porter tried to put the last couple of years in perspective.
I think I started my new life in 1980 when I went to the rehabilitation center and just progressed from there. But I'm just happy for this moment. We've just got a bunch of good, talented ball players, and we're world champions.
I paid my dues time after time. I've done my sentence, but committed no crime. And bad mistakes, I've made a few. I've had my shells and kicked in my bed, but I've come through. I need to go on. We are the champions, my friends, and we'll keep on fighting till the end. We are the champions. We are the champions. No time for losers, 'cause we are the champions of the world. I've taken my bows and my curtain calls. You brought me fame and fortune and everything that goes with it. I thank you all, but it's been no bed of roses, no pleasure cruise. I consider it a challenge before the whole human race, and I ain't gonna lose. We are the champions, my friends, and we'll keep on fighting till the end.
With a flash out of Fordham, they knocked in runs and scored 'em. The Gas House Gang was full of fight and nerve. The Redbirds were the rage, the wild horse of the Osage. And Paul and Dizzy were keeping 'em busy with heat and curves. I'm talking baseball. Hornsby, Haynes, and Ripper, Cardinal baseball. Leo was the lipper, Ducky Country Red, Kurowski too. Slats, he had that golden glove of blue. I'm talking baseball, baseball in St. Louis. With that man, no one could match him. Mort pitching, Walker catching. St. Louis was another Cooperstown. Rookies of the year, Bill and Wally started here. Brock on the run, the Cardinals won and were pen and bound. I'm talking baseball. Javier and Carlton, Cardinal baseball. Billy White and Washburn, Boyer Grote and Kurt McCarver too. Cepeda was an MVP, it's true. I'm talking baseball, baseball in St. Louis. Now this town on the Mississippi is handy with the blues. And the king of beers is right at home where Gibson made the hitters moan. 17 went down in just one fall. Now Gibby's in the hall. The Cardinals have tradition. Each year they have a mission to end up in the Classic in the fall. New names join the old, another team unfolds. The Cards look mighty, they're managed by Whitey, so let's play ball. I'm talking baseball. Hendrick, Keith Hernandez, Cardinal baseball. Oberkfell and Sanchez, Darryl Forsch and Tommy Suter too. When Ozzie deals, the Cards are coming through. Talking baseball, baseball in St. Louis. Talking baseball, baseball in St. Louis. The man, the man, the man. Cardinal baseball, baseball in St. Louis. The man, the man, the man. Well, Stanley Frank, it was in the bank. The man, the man, the man. Talking baseball, baseball in St. Louis. The man, the man, the man. Yeah, Gibby would call.
Of baseball, 1982 was the year of the Cardinal Rule, a year in which the team's heritage of pitching, speed, and defense was restored to championship heights. The Cards played the game with uncommon resilience and resolve, winning with a dash of this, a dash of that, and just plain dash. It is a team for the times and a team with the talent to provide more miracles in the future.
Wouldn't believe where I've been, the cities and towns I've been in, from Boston to Denver and every town in between. Everyone looks the same, the people, they all look the same. Oh, only the names have been changed. But now that I'm home again, I'll tell you what I believe. It's a miracle, a true
right, thank you very much, Ron. What's going on is a wonderful evening. The Cardinals, in a private party hosted by Gussie Busch, have really enjoyed themselves. Here's a man who deserves to enjoy himself, the man who built the Cardinals in less than 3 years into the world champions. I'm not going to ask you how you feel. You've been asked that 1,000 times in the last 24 hours. I'm going to ask you what you thought of the series.
Well, Jay, it was a series that I think Milwaukee proved to us the first game they had a pretty good ball club. I think we proved to them the second game that we weren't going to quit, and we came back and won a ball game. And we had a strange series. They blew us out, we blew them out, we gave them a game, they gave us a game. They won one, we won one, and then all of a sudden we get down to the 7th game. We're down 3-1. Joaquin's pitched pretty good, a throwing error on his behalf. But I thought the ball club would come back. We went out smoking Tuesday night in the 6th game, and I knew we were ready to play. And I really felt we could beat that ball club. And as it turned out, we did. I didn't get too excited about it. I really feel bad about this because a lot of people asked me how I felt about winning the World Championship, and I really felt that we were going to win. I didn't get excited about it. I knew we had a good ball club. We played like that all year, and I really expected our ball club to be the world champions. And I'm happy and elated that we are. I'm just happy.
Mr. Busch is sure happy.
Yeah, I'm happy for Mr. Busch. I mean, I'm happy for Anheuser-Busch. I'm happy for everybody associated with the St. Louis Cardinals. You know, we had a parade this morning, and
wasn't that something, Whitey?
When you have 500,000 people come downtown on a Thursday, or Friday, it was a Thursday, wasn't it?
Today is still Thursday. We're getting close, though.
But anyway, there was about 500,000 people down there, and all of them 20 rows deep along the streets. We were in there, and it's the greatest thing I've ever seen. And it's the first time in my life, I think, that I've ever had emotion that people coming up and want to shake your hand and tell you nice going. But it's a baseball town. No, really, Jay,
Yeah,
it's a baseball town. St. Louis has got tradition. There's Cardinal fans all over the world. And when you go to Pittsburgh, there's Cardinal fans. You go to Philadelphia, there's Cardinal fans. Right. But when you come to St. Louis, there's Cardinal fans from 200 miles out, 300 miles out. They want to come in here and see a ball game. And I think that we proved this year that we're just reached the edge of what we can do here. We're going to be a better ball club. If we can keep the ball players we got here in St. Louis the next few years, we're going to be a great contender for a long time. And all we have to have is a break here or there, or sign a free agent and give us another good starting pitcher, and we're going to be a super ball club.
I have a feeling you'll get excited in a fishing boat next month or on the golf course in 2 months. But anyway, Whitey, congratulations.
Well, thank you, Jay. It's been a great year, and I want to thank you and Mike and everybody for being good to us. And
you've been good to us, sir.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm just happy that we played that well. I'm happy for Mr. Busch. I'm just happy for everybody in St. Louis.
Thank you, Whitey. A very quick comment from a gentleman who worked the League Championship Series with me, a former Cardinal, played in the World Series, Mike Shannon. What did you think of it?
Well, I thought it was a heck of a series, Jay, because each ball club demonstrated how good they were, and it wouldn't surprise me if we'd see these two ball clubs in the series for the next, 5-6 years. They're both young. They both can do it. But I think the great thing about Cardinal baseball since Whitey Herzog has taken over was demonstrated this year. They played fundamental baseball, and the losing streak that they had all year was only 3, and that's why they won.
I'm going to take more time than I should to get just 30 seconds from Hall of Famer Roger Maris, who came here for the Cardinals late in his career and who watched the Cardinals win the World Series last night. What were your thoughts?
Well, it brought back a lot of good memories, Jay. In '67 we won it, and '68 we lost it, but it was really enjoyable to sit and watch one. This is the first time I've had the pleasure of watching one. Of course, I was really happy for Whitey.
You were a little nervous when they were down 3-1.
I didn't like it. Really, I didn't. I saw those left-handers warming up out there, and it looked like the Cardinals weren't doing too much with the left-handed pitching, and fortunately, they got to the guy that did come in.
Roger, thank you for being with us for just this minute.
Thank you, Jay.
Good
My
luck
pleasure.
to you.